don't you forget about me. Don't
happening here?
don't you
But are we really going to start
forget
on
about
this?
me.
Oh, for God's sakes.
Will you
All right,
stand
fine.
above me? Look my way and never love me. Rain keeps falling down.
Okay, that's about enough of that. Jesus Christ.
I said la 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 la
La la la la la la la la la.
And this is
I
why
think Cyrus is right. We're done.
This is why Kristen's allowed to sing on Rock Band, but Leon is not. Leon, you broke my PS3 singing into it. It just quit. It
Right,
said,
right.
It's not worth it.
Sure. I broke your PS3 while I was swimming with my shirt on and spoiling the movie for you. Let's just get them all out there all at one time.
I'm not the guy who's got the
swim
swimmer
with
with
your
the shirt
shirt
on problem. That was Corey, remember?
Yeah.
Who was weirded out about that.
Yeah.
I was like, I love swimming with my shirt on.
And I would just like to point out it was a surf shirt. the
Now-
kind of people go surfing in.
No, I had no problem with that at all. Now, to be fair, you do spoil movies, but still, that's
Bullshit.
Me too.
You know what? As MDU pointed out, Corey spoils way more movies than I do.
He totally does. I was just trying to cause trouble. I apologize. Anyway, welcome to the League of Extremely Ordinary Gentlemen.
Oh, come on. You got to say it like Cyrus is supposed to say it.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to the League of Extremely Ordinary Gentlemen.
No. Go back to the other way.
That was
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I was wrong.
Hey, and welcome to the League of Extremely Ordinary.
Okay, you know what you're listening to. Let's go into introductions now, can we?
Welcome to the League of Extremely Ordinary Gentlemen.
Thank
is,
you,
Is that you
Dr.
being
Claw.
the Corrigan?
No,
Yeah.
that's the. Well, I guess that is kind of, but that's more of the bad guy from Inspector Gadget.
Yeah.
I know, but the Corrigan led into Highlander, which is an 80s movie, and he tied in with our theme.
Oh, I
but
see.
God damn it, nobody's on the
Well,
same
technically,
page.
Inspector Gadget was 80s too.
Yeah.
Yep,
Well,
yep.
But then again, when he does that every damn day,
True.
I do not. Sometimes
Yes,
I vary it up
you
a
do.
little.
No,
Sometimes
you
I'm
do
like,
that
no, you
demon
do,
voice.
guys.
"Guys, what's going on?
That I call that one your death metal voice.
That's
That
my
was what I
death
was
metal
refer-
voice?
No,
Oh,
not
yeah,
that
it was-
one.
Oh, the other one.
it was in the
okay.
quiz.
It was in the quiz, yeah.
Oh,
that was
was
the
it?
death metal voice.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
And then, like-
introductions, shall
Okay,
we?
yes. Well, first up, this is the League. This is our 80s episode, in case you haven't figured it out by now. I am Cyrus.
And I'm Leon.
Jason.
Randy?
Kayla. Allison.
Kristen.
And no, you did not hear that wrong. Kayla is with us again.
Yes,
That's
she
it.
Hey!
Back, Kayla.
Where have you been, girl?
Dying and apocalypse and all sorts of things and selling my hamburger bed. So
That's right. You sold the hamburger bed.
I
And
did.
with the
Wait a minute. The hamburger bed was your identity. Without that, who are you now?
She's making a new
It's
one.
time for
A
a
new one.
rediscovery.
Well, she did kill Bo, and now she's wearing his skin.
it's lovely.
So she's Bo now? Is that?
No, she's not that drunk.
You're gonna have
Or
to
loud.
speak up, Kayla.
But,
We had to yell more.
but now that we've switched out Bo for Kayla, other people will get to talk. Randy, the audience might actually get to hear what you have to say.
I don't have anything interesting to say. I'm very sorry.
Where's Bo again?
I don't know. Drinking somewhere. Especially after he hears this. Sorry, Bo. So you're going to make a hot dog couch next? What's next?
I had one of those in junior high, but
A pizza futon?
Yeah, so French fry chairs.
No way. Better.
Ooh,
What's-
better.
Oh, see, I got to know. What is
Okay,
it?
what? Yeah.
Okay. Millennium Falcon bed.
Oh,
God.
What?
With
Wow.
working lights.
my nipples just got hard.
Yeah. Jason's going to come over and
And-
never leave till you call the cops.
I already finished the interior sheets, which is the map. to
Is
the
there a little
inside.
smuggling thing where you can hide actually like inside the bed?
What, under
Can you
the
play
cover?
chess with little aliens?
Is there a Wookiee in it?
We'll have Jason frozen in carbonite and just slid in there.
Keep your pants on there, Jason. Just keep them on.
It'll be like Glenn Quagmire.
damn
Giggity.
it.
Giggity, giggity.
He's just trying to get into Kayla's bed, which will do him no good because he'll never get into hyperdrive.
I gotta
And
tell you,
that one like
Kayla
any
doesn't even
other
have to
one.
be there at this point. I just want to be in the bed.
That's the funny thing. It's like as sexy as Kayla is, he'd be more interested in the bed itself.
Yeah. Yeah,
Good
I
job,
would make
kid.
sure he keeps his pants on if he gets in the bed because
Don't get cocky.
Okay, Okay, well, unless we have any... Oh, actually, we do have another intro thing. It's time for the weekly Who Bought Me What.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Let's go around. Jason, I know that you got some well-deserved
Hey, wait,
stuff.
whoa, clockwise.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you got anything.
See,
You didn't tell me.
I know, because you guys get all the big shit now.
I know it was always clockwise, but all right, go ahead.
But I got a little thing, and the only reason I'm mentioning this, somebody sent me The Shining on Blu-ray.
Ooh.
And I say somebody because there was no name attached.
Oh.
I have no idea who this came from.
Yeah,
It was me.
Important note to fans: you do not have to send us anything.
No.
But if you do, please write on your Amazon note, on like the note that comes with it. So please write what your handle is so we know who to thank. Because honestly, that's happened to me too. I've gotten stuff. I've even sometimes left notes in the League Lounge. Please, someone tell me who bought this for me so I can say thank you. And nothing. So I've had gifts. I still don't know who to say
me too.
thank you.
Well, something, and that just occurred to me just now. It's like, okay, I was sent The Shining on Blu-ray, but that wasn't on my wish list. So who is this that like circumvented the wish list to find out my address and send this to
maybe
me?
it
Shelley
was-
Duvall.
Probably not, because it probably has that documentary on it that shows her shooting, snorting coke and stuff.
Oh, seriously? Oh, I gotta watch that.
Have you never seen that?
I have not.
I don't know if they put it on the Blu-ray. It was on the last time they did a super DVD of it. But there's a great documentary filmed by Stanley Kubrick's daughter, I believe. And so she got totally behind the scenes and got to shoot just everything. And it's just fucked up. There's stuff. It's as good as Hearts of Darkness.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because you hear about how troubled that shoot was anyway.
Yeah.
You know.
And she was fucked up. Yeah, they get her on camera.
I mean, you
snorting
go from
coke.
Shining to Popeye. That's going to cause some problems.
I think
Popeye
that's
was
why she went from Shining to Popeye.
Yeah.
But okay, so you said you got the Shining. Did you get anything else?
I mentioned the Spectacular Spider-Man, but yeah, Shining's the only thing I got recently.
Okay, Jason.
I made out like a bandit after word of my injury got out and me being bedridden for a short while there and breaking my lightsaber. Nikado sent me a badass Master's replica lightsaber, the Darth Maul version.
That is so cool.
Whoa, the Darth Maul version?
Not the double-ended one, but the one that was battle damaged, so it's actually just a single functional lightsaber. But it is.
Damn, Nikado, be cheap. Why don't
It's after Qui-Gon cuts it in half. But I got that, and he sent me Spectacular Spider-Man Season 1.
And?
Wow.
What?
Yeah, which of
That
course
Nakado's
I...
a nice guy.
Yeah. Which of course
And
I
very
love.
cute with his Romulan ears.
Oh, I saw that picture too.
we need to just fly out to Tokyo just to have a
we can
private
fly
still
him
party for
over here.
For
I know.
Oh my God,
That's what I
Tokyo
said.
Still Party?
Dude, that
That would
would.
rock. Let's do that.
You know what you've done now?
yeah.
You've created a new group on Spill Call.
Tokyo Spill Party. Or helps fly the league to Tokyo.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, screw
Put
the
a PayPal button
presents.
up.
Put the money in to fly the league to Tokyo.
Zeke Slider hooked me up with the box set of the Twilight Zone, the definitive edition.
Oh, man, I hate you.
Oh my God.
And that
which
guy
is
is awesome as well.
Oh, yeah, he is
also-
awesome.
It's
And
like my
nothing-
favorite series ever. You know, like right up there with Firefly, and
It's awesome,
It's
yeah.
so damn good. I'm totally blanking. Somebody got me. Ironhide 667 got me a Forbidden Planet collector's edition on DVD, which is a classic
That's a
sci-fi
fantastic
flick
one,
with
yeah.
Leslie Nielsen, no less.
It was
Hell
totally.
yeah.
Oh, right.
That's a good
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Man, it's like when you're a little kid and you get really sick and your parents buy
I
you
know,
presents.
right?
Yeah, it's like when they get your tonsils taken out and they give you unlimited ice cream.
Hell
But
yeah.
I injure
Except-
myself every day. Where's my present?
Speaking of which, ow, my
Kristen
back.
got was
Oh,
tetanus.
oh,
Oh,
man.
Leon, are you okay?
I don't know. I was shaking this ice around, and man, I got such a twin.
That can be hard work.
I'm gonna lay down and take some Oxycontin, and you guys carry on without me.
Seriously, though, folks, he'll be fine. Don't buy him anything.
If only I had some good books to read while I was laid out.
I'll let you borrow some.
What, Jason?
Yeah, you touched him already, though.
Jason, you're loaning him your Xbox, so he'll get a chance for the first time in his adult life to play a decent game playing system.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
not my 360.
Oh,
but my
okay.
regular Xbox.
Well, even so, great
Yeah,
system. You'll
even
finally
so.
get to play the much touted Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2, X-Men Legends, Hulk Ultimate
And
Destruction.
this is gonna be better than ColecoVision. You guys are sure?
And Ultimate
Well,
Spider-Man.
okay, not
Hey.
better than the Smurfs, but you know.
All right.
Jesus
Anybody else get anything they want to say?
I got a ton of orders from my Etsy store, and in fact, I got so many that I didn't bring a list with me, and I cannot remember them all, so I'm not going to name you all by name, but I cannot thank you guys enough for the overwhelming support. You guys actually, from all the orders I had this week, I made more than I would have on my paycheck at my actual job.
Wow.
Yeah, so you guys bought me some more time while I'm searching, and for a week of my life, I got to believe that I was doing my dream, man. All I did was sew squids last week.
So, did you take a break to drive past the Blue Genie and give them the finger? Fuck you, losers!
No,
but she did defecate on their front steps in a drunken frenzy.
No, I dropped by today, and everything's good, and they feel terrible, and they just...
Did you give at least one swift kick in the nuts?
No, you see, I don't want to burn bridges because they are very important here in town, and
true.
we shouldn't
Okay.
speak shit about
It's
them
a
because
small
they are my
enough art
friends.
community as it is without creating.
Yeah, no, there's no hard feelings. It was a simple layoff. The country's doing very badly right now, and
I know of a
they feel
craft coven
awful.
you can join.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, I want to be Firuza Balk.
I'm worshiping as we speak, so
I called this couch.
I thought it was called the slut sofa.
Oh, see, that's my
Shut the fuck up, Jason!
that's my job to
There
say
we go.
uncomfortable stuff.
That
Come
was
on.
good.
Yeah.
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 Okay, well, I actually got something this week, which I don't know why. I didn't do anything special, but let's see. Fallout 3, the game that admittedly #1 game I wanted,
Whoa.
was sent to me
It's awesome.
by Holden from Spill. Thanks. I can't tell you thanks enough. I started playing it, and immediately
So
it was like
beautiful.
9 hours later. It was the next morning, and Mary goes, "Have you been to bed yet?"
Nikado sent
What are
me
you
that
talking about?
several months ago. So
Yeah, well,
Wow. You really had to just come in with that, didn't you?
I did.
You couldn't let him have his moment.
I did had to talk about my sugar daddy in Tokyo town.
well, to be fair,
Yeah, he's my husband, though, so
Yeah,
don't try and
exactly.
steal him from me.
I hate to tell you
Absolutely.
this, but your husband's Miami cool shit.
Absolutely,
We'll have to have a talk.
every listener of Leog already knows you're cooler than me, Jason. But thanks for that last little
Yeah.
stab to the
Well-
kid.
Yeah, you couldn't let him have that one, huh?
That's okay, Padawan.
And then I just got today V for Vendetta on Blu-ray from Eugene London, which is like, I love that movie, and it's one of those films that's done perfect for that level of HD.
I think it's better than the freaking graphic novel.
It is not.
I don't
It
agree
is.
with that, but I think it's
is.
one of the best comic book adaptations.
It is a
yet.
good comic book adaptation. It is not better than the graphic
No, it
novel.
is
I
not
don't even know what would
better.
make how you could form your lips to say something like that.
Wait, who likes the prequels?
I was gonna thank you. I was just gonna go there.
Your opinion is irrelevant, sir.
My God, it's like you guys are all like waiting for Superman to turn so you can all like Bruce Wayne and pull your kryptonite ring that I gave you out. And you're like, oh, really? Guess what? I still got this motherfucker.
Only when you turn evil.
Well, sorry, I know how much that movie meant to you, so that makes me happy that you got that.
I loved that movie. So yes, I was very excited about that. That was the only good part of the Button-Umathon I won.
That's
It
right.
was
Yeah.
seeing
He
that.
finally got to go to Button-Umathon and hated it. It was just so funny to me that you came back with the exact story I always figured it would be.
Yeah, where everyone else was like, "Oh, it's so awesome."
Yeah, no.
And I was just falling asleep and dying
You're
during
like,
the whole
it was
thing,
completely painful, except that I got to see V for Vendetta.
which
Every-
woke me the fuck
Wait.
up.
Yeah, I went to the first and the fifth Button-Umathon, and the first one was really cool, but then the fifth one was just horrible. And based on the lineup from the last ones, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm glad I did what I did instead.
And this is nothing against Harry Knowles. It's his birthday
Hey,
party.
that's a beautiful thing that he does.
Yeah, he
It
picks his.
supports what I do, which is host kids clubs.
Well, there you
yeah.
go.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
It's nothing against it. I just can't stay up for 24 hours straight watching retro and older films and stuff intermixed with the possibility of some new release. Even if it had been all first screenings of movies, I couldn't stay up for 24 hours.
No,
No,
I remember during the first one, I tried to actually get you to go with me because I had to go by myself. And when I told you about it, you were like, "No, I'm not doing that. I'd have to slip outside and smoke a joint or something at some point." You need
which,
to edit that
to be
out.
clear, the one I went to, I mainlined crack cocaine into my heart.
Well, I know that like 3 movies in a row is like the top I can do.
I can do more than that,
Wow,
but
that's like
24
Tuesday
hours
for
is
me.
out of the question. And the biggest movie straight up like just sit and watch thing I've ever done without wanting to shoot myself in the head was the Lord of the Rings director's cuts.
Oh, there's no fucking way I could do that.
I sat through all three, and I could do it again because I love those that much.
That's a
But
crippling amount of film, though.
It is. And
Yeah.
you have to be in a very comfortable seat.
I mean, it'd be different if it was like, Shaft and Shaft's big score and Shaft in Africa.
And Shaft in Africa.
would be different, yes.
Where each movie is an hour and a half to 2 hours, but you're talking like 4.5 hour director's cuts, 3 of them back to back.
Come on, man. I mean, if you were doing the director's
Actually-
cuts of those, where at the end of Shaft's big score, or Shaft in Africa, where Isaac Hayes and all the other guys and Rudy Ray Moore come running into the bedroom and they'll jump up and down on the bed and hug with a
Did Peter Jackson
Shaft
do that
for like
to
3
you?
hours? I'm getting it mixed up. In my head.
You were freaking me out. No, I've actually been talking about having a little all-day shindig at my place, starting off with, Fellowship of the Ring and breakfast, and then
I'm
moving
in.
on to second breakfast and all that.
No, the
I love
only
disease.
you have to do if you do a party like that,
Exactly.
you have to do it with the meals, and otherwise,
Yeah.
that's part of what
No,
you
I'm,
do.
I'm actually serious.
Well,
I've been
doing it at
wanting to do
Jason's
that for a
house is
while.
different because I don't have somebody looking at me crossways if I get up in the middle of them to leave.
Yeah, that's true. We've already seen them, so it's not like it's a big deal.
Yeah. It's one of those things, come, go, be casual about it and all that. Yeah. So
Yeah, I'm ready for that. Let's do it.
maybe I'll slip in Attack of the Clones in between the two. As a little refresh.
And
Maybe
we'll all
not.
leave.
If you cook second breakfast, I'll cook thirdsies. So
Oh, you just threw a little Star Wars in, but really they're kind of pretty much the same movie, so you don't even notice the difference.
you know what we should wait for though, because they're preparing them on Blu-ray as we speak, and apparently
yeah.
they're putting a lot of time and effort into it. So let's wait for that release, and we'll get those.
You mean they're
yeah.
going to be longer?
No,
There's
no,
like
they'll
6
just
Even
more
more
endings
stuff
on
to
the Return of the
do.
King.
They're
It's
just
the Tom
making sure
Bombadil
that-
cut.
They're just making sure they're excellent transfers into HD.
Where he's running through the forest going, "Don't you forget about me."
Hey, you know
I
what?
think we're back to the topic
That
again.
reminds me of something.
We were talking about the 80s. I
We're
think.
talking about the 80s.
Oh my God, there's a topic this week?
So you know what?
Ostensibly.
Let's talk about the goddamn 80s. And there's no better way to...
Oh, the 80s were fantastic.
Hey,
I wish I could go back.
if I may quote the I think it was Hal Sparks had said this. It always stuck with me because he nailed it so perfectly. The 80s was a decade where you just could not draw enough attention to yourself.
That's true. I mean, it was... as
we're talking
much-
checkerboard vans and neon and crazy
okay.
hair.
You know, in the 80s, we used to make fun of the 70s because of, like, the flared trousers and the popped, like, spiky collars. Or not spiky, you know what I'm talking about. The what do you call those? With the giant lapels?
Well, you had giant lapels. You had skinny ties.
Yeah.
You
We're
had
like, oh, that was-
leather and spikes. I mean, it was.
Well, no, the 70s I'm talking about. Like,
Oh,
yeah. We used to
oh.
make fun of the 70s
Oh,
style,
I'm sorry,
which was
yeah.
it's still admittedly awful. But in retrospect, when you look back at the 80s, you're like, dude, really, you could not talk because the
here's-
80s is the worst fashion decade.
Here's what
Oh,
gets
no.
me though. I keep thinking I'm so very young, but when I see the kids these days and they're wearing what I was wearing as a kid, and it's cool now because the 80s are all back and they're wearing the little skinny jeans and the. Oh God! Why are you wearing that? Please, the 80s did not look good. Well, can we bring back the 20s? Can we bring up the 20s?
I'm
or
all
the
for that.
40s or the 50s when we had some damn taste?
I'm okay with. And everybody looks like they just popped right out of an Olivia Newton-John video
Yeah.
with that American Apparel, like wear your leotard to McDonald's trend.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not for
Let's
that.
Or the Madonna trend where you wear your
Physical.
underwear on the outside.
See, I'm all for that.
You got your shirt slipping down over your shoulder, and
Or
The whole
you wore a
It
suit
looks
jacket,
good.
but you pushed it up around your elbows.
the part of the 80s that was like, I'm a bigger slut. No, I am. I liked that part. That was good. So where you could dress up like a hooker, and everybody was like, no, that's
and
just the way
Yeah,
it
they're
is.
doing that
did.
again now.
He really
He still does.
but it is funny. Like,
You don't like my tube top?
you can watch movies, and I don't know how much it goes to music videos, but movies you can watch it from so many other decades, and you get kind of confused. Like things from the '60s, I can't tell if that's the '50s or the '60s, or I can't tell if that's the '60s or the '70s.
Right.
But with the '80s, you know it right off the bat.
Yeah.
There's no
Absolutely.
mistake in it.
Neon.
Yes,
Neon.
Lots of
Neon
neons.
pink
everywhere.
and green together. Did y'all ever do the thing where you wore two socks, different colors, and you folded one down so that the bottom color showed? Allison's nodding her head, so she knows what I'm talking about.
No, I never did that.
It was terrible.
Well, I went to a private school, so that was like the only expression
Same
you could
here.
have
Yeah,
was your
that's all I had.
socks.
That's all I had. Were my
The-
socks.
You know, we're going to find out that you both had like the same dad at some point.
We are mysteriously, strangely together on some things.
Yeah.
I didn't make many concessions to fashion at any point in my life. Jeans and t-shirt has usually been the rule.
No.
Of the day. Yeah. But the best I did was like I was very into 80s alternative music.
You
As
were like
said,
the Versace
skinny
of
ties
nerds,
and that
man.
sort of
Come
thing.
on.
You did the Joe Jackson.
I would wear the sport jacket over a t-shirt, which
Uh-huh.
was very big then, and
Yeah.
then I would wear two different colored black and white Converse high tops.
and when you wore the sport jacket, did you push the sleeves up to your elbows?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Is it okay to retroactively punch someone in the throat for something they
Man,
did 20 years ago?
your arm would fall off from punching so many people because I managed to avoid so many of those things. Never had a Jerry curl. However, toward the end of the 80s, I succumbed a little bit. I had a flat top. Kind of like Larry Blackman of
I want
Cameo.
pictures.
Yeah, I want pictures too.
Oh, I have one picture of me with a flat top and a big dangly earring.
Bring it!
Yes, I want
And what I
to
don't
see.
have any pictures
You never
of,
had the kid look?
The kid and play.
no, I didn't go quite kid with it. Kid and play. Anybody going who?
Kid
House
play.
party.
But the thing
Get
that,
your Googles
the thing
ready,
that I
kids.
had that you guys would probably love to see the most, that I would love at the time, was my white linen Don Johnson Miami Vice jacket.
nice.
Sweet.
And my the white
Had it.
pants and the boat shoes.
Had it.
And
Me
a
too.
hot pink shirt I would wear
Me
with it.
too.
Yeah.
I was in 5th grade.
I gotta say, I'm very happy that I was not in high school in the 80s.
I also carried a fake 45 underneath my jacket in going to 5th grade, and that was when it was acceptable. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
back in the day. Yeah, I'm just happy I wasn't in high school in the 80s because I was in 6th grade in 1989. So I am thankful that grunge was in high school. I'm like, I don't have to dress up at all. I'm just gonna fucking wear bullshit.
And plus, we were kids, and everything.
Oh god, the 80s were
in
the
was like
best.
bugs and gross things. It was amazing.
Garbage Pail Kids.
Oh, that's true.
Everything turned into something else.
That's true,
It
that's
was
true.
You
awesome.
can't do that on television.
Ren-
That big, like,
no.
gooey, icky,
Ren
nasty
and
stuff.
Stimpy ushered in this whole era of like, hey, gross is cool, and let's go for it.
That's true.
Loved it.
Is there a lull? Holy shit!
We were just
It's a
also Bo isn't
nostalgic
here.
sigh.
Yes, Caleb's got it.
Now, one thing I used to
so
do, like my
embarrassed.
way of rebelling, was
No.
like I would wear like an Izod like shirt, but I pinned a fake rubber alligator to it where the Izod went. No, I did that all the time until somebody was like, "Oh yeah, Howie Mandel." I was like, "The fuck you talking about, Howie Mandel?"
that's right.
And then I saw Howie Mandel do that, and I was like, "God damn it, he
He stole
my
your idea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
you should
could do
go.
that to him.
You should go see him now and say, "Tell some jokes."
No, go. Just go wipe your hands on him because he's got that
Oh, that's right. He's
germophobia
total
thing.
germaphobe.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about.
Yeah,
no wonder
like,
he's always.
here's this fucker. He stole my gator idea. Have
That's
some
where.
germs.
That's why he always has the latex gloves on it.
He does.
we used to blow him up.
Puts one over
Yeah.
his face and blows it up.
Yeah,
okay.
That was his signature
yeah,
bit.
yeah, that was one of them.
Yeah, that was his big.
No,
thing.
that was the one, I think.
But
Yeah,
Allison,
don't
you've been
say
trying to say something here.
Hey, do you guys remember when MTV played music videos?
Whoa.
Music videos.
I was in high school when MTV first came on.
Holy
Yeah, me
I
too.
wasn't in high school, but I was waiting in front of the television with my little sister, waiting for it to go from static to MTV.
Yeah, do you remember hearing about Thriller? Like everybody's talking about Thriller. You're like, I don't have MTV yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
Anyone-
me. We had MTV.
Oh, you had
How
MTV.
about-
Yeah, I had to
That's what
wait
I'm
for
saying.
that.
We watched Video Killed the Radio Star. We
Oh,
were
yeah.
watching
Nice.
when it started.
Yeah.
How about VH1's Night Flight?
Oh, totally.
that,
was
wasn't
Yeah.
VH1. That
No,
was-
Yeah,
it
it
was,
wasn't. It was USA.
USA
USA.
Network. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And you know what was great about
That
that
was
wasn't
VH1.
the videos; it was all the weird animated shorts they would.
Oh, yeah.
Between them.
Oh yeah,
I mean, they were
play-
Liquid Television before Liquid Television.
Yes, they were.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, they were.
And they would play like all those old PSAs, like duck and cover type stuff, and
Yeah.
what to do in case of nuclear war.
He did that too
Loved that.
Yeah,
stuff.
Night
course
Fight
you
was
did.
cool.
Well, you know what? I want to go back to the fashion thing because I'm dying to know what Randy was wearing in the 80s.
You know,
Yes, so
actually,
I know.
Cyrus, I'm pretty much like you. I was a shorts and t-shirt guy. I went into that. However, I did have a friend of mine who was a girl who was like, sort of did her bit to try and get me to dress a little more fashionably. And at some point, I remember being convinced to start wearing ties. And I had like a piano tie.
I still have that.
Oh my god! I've long since lost it. I'm so glad.
It's gonna show up like the monkey's paw.
Yeah,
It's
when,
gonna go on my Amazon wish list.
once you run for senator, all those photos will come out again.
Dude, I'm
Yeah.
not running for senator.
Yeah. Once I run for senator, you know what's gonna happen? My constituents are gonna listen to Leog, and I'm gonna get like 6 votes.
Game over, man. To quote the 80s.
Oh, but I did
Nice.
remember when someone was mentioning it, the Swatch. I did have at least 2 different Swatches.
Oh, Swatch! Oh my god!
With the little Swatch guards? Oh, yeah.
I
yeah.
had two. One I never wore because I didn't like it. It was kind of gay and pink. And the other one was Egyptian.
Wait,
It was
Yeah.
the 80s.
you had a
Everything was
swatch
gay.
that was only kind of gay?
I had one with like a bunch of Egyptian shit on it that was totally dorky now, but I thought it was awesome.
Yeah,
I
mine was
actually
mirrored.
had one of the Nintendo game watches where you could play like
Oh
Mario
yes,
Brothers
yes.
on it. Yeah.
How about remember slap bracelets?
Yeah, cell bracelets.
See, those were after my time.
Yeah, that was more
Oh.
90s,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, I think that's more.
No,
90s.
I remember them
It was
6th and 7th
80s.
grade.
Was it 80s?
Really?
Yeah, because I remember collecting them, and I remember when the outside covering started to come off, and the rusty metal was slapping against my
Yeah.
hand. I'm like, these
Damn.
things are fucking dangerous.
Yeah, those things were horrible.
And then they had GNS bracelets. Do you have GNS bracelets?
What's a GNS?
That was a generic slap bracelet that she got at the flea market.
It was a surf company, and it was like the Velcro strap that you'd wear on your wrist when you went surfing for
Yeah.
your
TNC.
surfboard.
It wasn't Ocean Pacific.
No,
I was
it
gonna say,
GNS.
Oh,
Ocean
man, the
Pacific
surfing,
is what
yeah,
I
the surfing
think
was
of.
huge.
Yeah.
I wore all Ocean Pacific T-shirts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Me
Gecko!
too.
Did anyone have a Gecko
Gecko.
brand?
I had
Oh my
Gecko,
god!
yeah.
My entire wardrobe was Gecko
How about
for a few
the
years.
color changing? What were the color changing?
Hypercolor.
shirts?
Hypercolor?
Hypercolors.
Oh yeah, growing up in Louisiana where it's humidity all of the damn time, I was so disappointed because my hypercolor never worked because it was fucking hot.
I thought that was 90s too.
I thought,
No.
No, that was 80s.
and really, like, I think that they were invented by a man who just wanted to highlight ladies' boobs because that was the hot spot on your hypercolor shirt, where you just have 2 bright
I didn't
pink
have
orbs
boobs
walking
yet.
down.
Wow.
the
Okay.
Who,
I'm
who
that
is this?
that
predated
was-
Who
my
is
breasts.
this man?
I'm
Who
bringing
is
it
this-
back.
Who is
Yeah,
this
Hypercolor's
singular
coming back.
man?
Who
Bringing
is
him
this
back.
Who wanted
hero?
to highlight women's boobs?
Who is this hero who invented such an amazing
How
thing
about
that you all fell
spandex
for?
hypercolor?
All right, someone find me hypercolor spandex, and I'll do a crazy Harley Quinn outfit.
I'm on it.
Go research that.
If you'll excuse me, I gotta hit the Google for a minute.
No, American Apparel has hypercolor T-shirts now. Again,
So do they have ones that don't die after like a month?
You wash them once, and they're
Yeah.
broken.
They turn to ash.
It's like stabbing a vampire through the heart. Don't wash them. Which is why so many hippies wore them because they didn't wash anything anyway.
Oh,
all right, so let's
damn
go
hippies.
to a question. Let's start with the first question we got on the one I put up the post, which is some Daredevil, who I haven't actually asked a question from a while. I don't even think we've gotten a question from.
I
in a
don't
while.
recognize the name.
But I know there are a few things you guys don't like about the 80s.
What?
But what
No,
was
there
something?
isn't. There's not a damn thing I don't like about the.
I'm sure
Let
we
him
can
ask
come
the
up with
question.
something.
You know what? If this is the question, I think I want to defend the 80s.
Okay, but what was
I'm
something you absolutely adored about the 80s? Whether it's a movie, a comic, a certain type of music, but just one thing. So let's just do a round table like the one thing that right off the top of your head go, you know what? I fucking loved that about the 80s.
Leon?
Well, let me.
He was pretty good, but there's got to be something better than that.
I like 90s Leon. I like Arctic Leon.
I didn't like him in the 80s as much because John Byrne was writing it.
I liked Commando Leon with the
You
variant.
didn't like Underwater Leon because that was my
No.
favorite.
Underwater Leon, the legs kept falling off.
Or the kung fu grip
Yeah, I
would
was
wear
gonna
out,
say.
and the fingers were going to fall off
I
soon
like
once
it.
that split started to
The
happen.
thumb
I
would
got I
snap
could change
off.
the afros on it.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, you make a
Clown
lousy.
wig, regular afro. It was good.
Yeah,
For all the things the things that can be laughed at about the 80s, it was that last big creative spurt. Like everybody, it was a mix of punk.
that's what she said.
didn't we ask for one specific thing off the top of your head and not like the speech you've carefully prepared?
Dude, if you ask me a question, you know you're going to get a speech.
All
You know
right,
how many
Granddad.
speeches I got filed away? You
Yeah.
just give me a chance to pull out.
You were
drawers.
already
Yes.
lecturing
He
in
was fired.
college in the 80s, so
That's
come
true.
on.
That's true.
Romans.
But like with a lot of things, especially with music, music was like in the 80s was like everybody was really creative. It was under the rule of Reagan, and it was under that heavy oppressive Republican rule where the one thing that it kind of put pressure on artists to really go for it a lot more than they would otherwise
Yeah.
when Darth Vader wasn't in charge, and
We were
so
all
like.
better off.
So as goofy and as bubblegum as music could be sometimes, it was really doing different things, and it's a lot of fun Whereas, with the 90s gave us grunge, but everything became really homogenous after
Well,
that.
grunge started in the late 80s, technically.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
Mudhoney,
I'll back
Nirvana, all those
Leon
guys
up on
started
that.
in the 80s.
I mean, yeah, there's stuff in the 80s that they did they'd never done before, and I don't think people have broken as much since then.
Yeah, it's like commerce really came in after that, and nothing has really tried to take chances and excel anymore.
I think that there's been a lot of really great finesse in music since then that have taken the things that started in the 80s and turned, just went with it to its logical conclusions that have been great. But, punk rock didn't really evolve into a major art form until the 80s.
Right.
Till everyone was trying, till it got to post-punk where everybody was
Exactly.
like that. Till it evolved into hardcore and all that stuff. There are all these different things going on. Bands like the Butthole Surfers. Who would have ever thought in the 70s, it would be great? Let's mix punk rock with lots and lots of LSD. This wasn't something that would have occurred at that point. There was stuff like that happening. Yeah, that's my favorite thing too about the 80s is what happened to music, and it is, I think, because of that. I think it was the Reagan Thatcher period when everyone felt like, you guys are trying to homogenize society and the world, and fuck that. And music went crazy. It was the beginning of electronica music. Really, there was a lot of great stuff happening.
I wish Greg were here.
Because he'd do his Chicago was the greatest 80s band ever.
When you called me up this morning, talking about the new love.
Greg actually said that on Facebook. I was like, are you out of your goddamn mind?
Yeah.
I thought you were a rock star.
He really threw his nuts on the line on that one.
He really
They
did.
sold a lot of records, and I like Chicago, at least before they start singing that shit you just did.
Yeah. No, I like some Chicago too.
Like
but-
the Terry Kath, Peter Cetera Chicago, yes, with all the horn section. That was a band with a horn section. You don't get that anymore. That's what went out with the end of the 80s.
That's what Greg was saying. He was saying, what bands did the 80s ruin? Chicago.
There were a lot of bands
Genesis.
ruined that time.
The Monkees.
He's wrong about Genesis.
Actually, the horns came back big time in the noughts. They're very big right now.
Are they really?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Especially with
Maybe I'm not listening to the right thing.
Especially with world rock, bands that are mixing world music sounds with alternative.
You
or
know,
punk
you know
and
who
stuff.
rocked the house with the horns?
Yeah.
Huey Lewis in the News.
Fuck yes! I'm sorry. I can't believe that just popped right out of me. An autonomic. Oh God, yes!
Oh yeah, I
It hits
just
me
realized I'm in a
square.
room full of white people. Okay, go ahead.
Huey Lewis in the News.
It's just the power of love, baby.
Do I need to tell you guys about Huey Lewis in the News?
All right, give us a little.
I
Huey
think their
Lewis in
early
the
work
news.
was a little too new wave for my taste. But when sports came out in '83, I think they really came into their own commercially and artistically. The whole album, it really has this clear, crisp sound, a new sheen of consummate professionalism that really gives the song a big boost. Huey has been compared to Elvis Costello, but I think he has a far much more bitter, cynical sense of humor. In '87, Huey released 4. Their most accomplished album.
Wait.
And I think their undisputed masterpiece is Hip to Be Square, a song so catchy, most people don't listen to the lyrics, but they should, because it's not just about the pleasures of conformity and the importance of trends, it's also a personal statement about the band itself. Hey! Cyrus! Try getting a reservation at Dorsia now, you fucking bastard!
I can't help but think that sounds familiar, and it's
Wait
not
a
from the
minute.
80s.
Wasn't there one of their albums that was too black?
No, that was a quote from American Psycho,
Oh, you didn't have to say it.
the movie.
No, I know. You should just let people
Because
just guess it.
in the book, it was Genesis.
I've been waiting to do that.
Oh, is that right?
In the book, it was Genesis he goes off on. In the movie, they changed it to Huey Lewis in the News.
Interesting.
Yeah, because Genesis didn't want to be associated with someone taking an axe to Jared Leto's head.
Why not?
What were they
know.
thinking?
I
I
still
know,
want to
right?
take an axe to Jared Leto's head.
I wanted to destroy something beautiful, as Leon
Just
said earlier.
just like Jared Leto gets killed or fucked up in every movie he's in.
Yeah. But thank you for indulging me during that little tirade. That felt really well and felt really good, and I've always identified with Patrick Bateman. But anyway, next question.
I
think
was
it's the
totally
opposite time,
sincere in
Tom.
my love for Huey and Lewis in the News there. I was right there with you. Yeah.
I am too. No, I actually went through all of my cassettes. God, it was like 2 days before this recording. I went through all of my cassettes and started throwing stuff out and keeping other things. Of course, I kept the Huey Lewis and the News.
Hell yeah.
But I found a distressing, and I'm expecting my friends to be here with me on this one, I found a distressing amount of poison in there. I mean, dear God, there was a lot of poison.
What's
That-
wrong with that, man?
You know,
Wrong.
goes right there along with the prequels.
Well,
It's
nothing
totally-
but a good time.
No, I did Quiet Riot, so
Yeah, I had Quiet
But Quiet
Riot.
Riot had Randy Rhoads in it. You was okay. It's still cool to have liked.
Yeah,
Quiet
for all those
Riot.
great songs. Name 2.
Come on, feel the noise.
Uh-huh.
Girls, rock your boys and go wild, wild, wild.
I touched a nerve.
Welcome back.
Wild, wild.
Welcome back, Kayla. Okay, no, that's good. That one, yeah.
Yeah.
So the
Although
other
I don't think Randy Rhoads actually was still in the band at that point. I think he was already dead when they put out hit singles.
You know what? Most of the people that listen to Leog right now are going,
What?
man, it's been an hour, and what the fuck are they talking about?
Yeah,
How is this different?
People were like bitch about us talking about comics.
They're like-
or like going, oh, they're doing an episode about the 80s. I can listen to this. They'll be like, ah, fuck.
They're like, I thought since Bo was gone, I'd know what they were talking about.
Well, I'm going to throw in before we keep going with that question, just because we hit a right moment for that. James asks, I'd like to know your thoughts about one of the musical giants of this decade, Mr. Phil Collins. Talk about anything, his solo career, his stuff with Genesis, his overexposure and musical domination in the mid-'80s, everything in between with this love him or hate him musician.
Oh, Phil Collins.
There was stuff I really loved.
To me,
Like
Phil
the
Collins-
Tarzan soundtrack.
You know what? I don't know if you're making a joke, but I thought he did a really good job on the Tarzan.
I thought he
soundtrack.
did, too.
And it was after I thought he was washed up, and I was like, wow, he still got it. Although he did seem to be following Peter Gabriel's footsteps, where it's like, hey, he's doing that world music thing. I'll bring it in too. I just want to say, Phil Collins is one of those guys where like I feel like, okay, you're not supposed to like him, and he's not supposed to be cool, but I went back and was like, man, there's a lot of goddamn Phil Collins stuff I like, mostly with Genesis.
No,
a lot of those albums.
A lot of his solo stuff, too, though.
Yeah,
was
yeah,
so
he's got a lot of
good.
good solo stuff.
You know what though? When he started doing ballads and stuff, some of his ballads are a little weepy.
It's the ballads of that. Yeah, that
But
I
no,
lose him on that.
There was a lot of his stuff, even the later Genesis stuff in the '80s that came out. Invisible Touch. I have a fondness for that album.
What was
I
the-
like
what was
the
the
one that's
song?
titled Genesis.
Yeah.
wait,
That was the actual. It's hard to argue with that
Was
being
it
good
before or
stuff.
after Invisible Touch?
That was
'Cause I can't
before.
remember.
That was
What
Okay,
was the song
I thought
they did
that
the
was their
music
absolute
video
best album.
for with the puppets from England?
That was on
That's the
Invisible
one.
Touch. That was
It's on Genesis.
Land of Confusion.
Yeah, Land of
This is the
Confusion.
world we
Okay,
live
great
in.
song.
No,
Yeah.
it's
Amazing
It's got
video.
that.
Yeah, great
It's got
video.
Mama. It's got
Oh, yeah, that
Home by the
video's
Sea
crazy.
and an Illegal Alien. I think it's one of the best albums ever. And people like to say like, I like the Peter Gabriel stuff. And it's like, yeah, it's cool to say you like Peter Gabriel, but for me personally, when they had Peter Gabriel as the lead singer, they masturbated around
Okay,
on their
here's the
instruments
thing.
too much.
Here's the thing: is Phil Collins as talented as Peter Gabriel? No, I don't think he is. Is he a better pop musician than Peter
I'd say
Gabriel is?
so.
Yeah,
Oh,
probably.
absolutely he is. Peter Gabriel is definitely an artist, and he's
Sure.
an astonishingly talented guy, and I love all his solo stuff, but I almost never listen to his Genesis records.
Right.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
listen to the
Thank
Phil
you.
Collins Genesis.
Yeah. Here's the big difference, though. If someone asks you, if you're at a party, you're like, "Oh yeah, I like Peter Gabriel," or it's, "Well, I like Phil Collins. All right, I guess." So
No one
that's
wants
the
to
big
admit it.
difference. I don't think you're going to get.
No one wants to admit it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no one's going to admit
exactly.
they like
Well,
Phil Collins, but it's safe to admit you like Peter Gabriel.
Was that no?
So-
No, it's not.
Oh,
Sledgehammer is one of the worst fucking songs ever.
What?
Ever,
Shut
ever.
Shut the fuck up, Jason!
You're so full of
I
bitterness.
hate Sledgehammer.
And that was one of the
I hate
greatest
that
videos.
video.
I know.
I hate that video.
You hate
why do you
Irrelevant.
hate Sledgehammer
Irrelevant.
and the video?
Irrelevant. Let me see my
It's
phone.
just it
I don't wanna hear
it triggers just this
Dude, there's no way you can be doing
instinctive
anything. You don't hear that.
vitriol.
Okay, that's some sort of deep personal issue you got going on. Maybe deeply sexual repression because the video is so very sexual.
Well,
so I think it's a personal
Cyrus touched my butthole last time
Yeah,
that I
see?
heard
What?
that song.
I did
told
no
ya.
such
Told
thing.
you there was something we don't know about.
He's just mad because the show Sledgehammer ripped off Police Squad. That's all.
My hat is off to you, Cyrus. My hat is off to you.
That was good.
It was my one of my sister's big guilty pleasures is Phil Collins. She'll be like, hey, for years she's asked me for her birthday. She's like, could someone get me a Phil Collins greatest hits? But she won't admit it because she's actually far geekier than me. But she's so far in the closet, she's found last year's Christmas or next year's Christmas presents. But but yeah, she freaking loves Phil Collins, and so. I'm like, Phil, I don't know. And so I'll have Pandora on, and a Phil Collins song come on, and I'll think of her immediately. And so I'm like, I can no longer judge whether I like or dislike Phil Collins, because the first thing I think of is, Katie secretly likes this. And so I have a tendency to like it. And we had a rainstorm here the other day, and the first thing that popped in my mind was the Let It Rain Down on Me song.
Oh, I love that song.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what? I guess I do like Phil Collins, if only to get behind my sister on that one. So.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, well, let's go back around. Now we finished the Phil Collins
Randy's next.
odd adoration. Let's go back with
Things
Randy
you
was
love.
next.
One thing from the 80s.
What was
Okay,
the one
the one-
thing you think of
The
right
one
off
thing
bat?
from the '80s. The one thing actually is John Hughes. John
Okay.
Hughes movies. I love the John Hughes movies. I will
Wait,
still watch them.
Who's that? John Hughes?
John Hughes. He was
Dead
actually he was the guy who did the movies with the gangs. No, wait, that's actually different Hughes. John Hughes was the guy. Ferris Bueller's Day Off is the big one.
Oh, I never heard of that.
No, it's pretty good. It's actually a sort of an
terrible
existentialist
title.
masterpiece. Mostly, it's a guy sort of standing in a room and being sort of separated from. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. No, Ferris
It was a
Bueller's Day
fair
Off,
account.
Sweet 16, or Sweet 16 Candles,
Oh,
Breakfast
he did
Club.
Nightmare on Elm Street, right?
Yes, no.
Okay. No? Okay.
But he
I'm-
did write Mr. Mom.
That's true.
Did he really write
Yeah,
Mr.
he wrote
Mom?
Mr. Mom.
Okay, and I'm kidding,
And
folks.
Made
for
in
those-
Manhattan.
He did not write Made
He
in
did.
Manhattan.
Yes, he did. Yes.
Well,
Yes,
okay, he was near death, so
Yeah,
to
it
be
was-
fair,
yeah, well,
he probably was almost in a coma at that point.
Well, there's a cutoff point. I mean,
that
you
movie.
get to a certain point, and
I'm
it stops
sorry,
being
Gail.
Vacation and all that, and it starts being the Beethoven series and the Home Alone series, and Kayla's scaring the crap out of me right now.
She's a member of the
Kayla
league.
did some sort of tribal Wookiee celebration.
She's a member of the league we're proud of and still don't understand.
He wrote all the Home Alones. All of them.
All of them?
All of them.
Even 3?
All 4.
There are four.
Wait,
There were
there are
4?
Was that direct to video? Perhaps. Oh, okay.
Okay. Wow.
John Hughes got to eat.
You know, there's a point you
I
go.
guess the Blues Brothers 2000 money ran out.
There's a point when you look at the cast of The Breakfast Club and 16 Candles and you go, really? There was no way to put together a sequel to those films? You couldn't have possibly gotten the cast back
Well,
together for those?
Do you remember them talking
were
about?
too
They were
busy.
talking about a Ferris Bueller sequel.
Oh, for a
And
while.
I thank God they never made it because I think it would have ruined the movie.
Actually, I kind of like the idea of Ferris Bueller now.
I mean,
What's he gonna
You don't want to
do?
see Ferris
Well,
Bueller
the
like being
idea of
this
him
office
being,
drone later.
I like the idea that he is this office drone, or just an office. He'd probably be an office manager, right? But
Yeah.
even so, he hates his job, and he's like, you know what? Fuck it. And he calls his old friends who also have kind of shitty jobs, and he goes, let's take a day off. And his
God, that would
boss is
kill
a
me.
total dickhead.
No, that's just for
Yeah, that would
signaling.
make
No,
me
I don't
sad.
Like it. You're vetoed.
No, wait a minute. You guys saw Election, right?
Yeah.
Because that was like
That was
like a
Ferris
sequel
Bueller.
to Ferris Bueller. Like Ferris Bueller, yeah, he's a cool kid in school, but he grows up to be an adult where he's a teacher back at that school, and his life is kind of shitty.
That shit gets so dark. Oh my god.
oh yeah,
Crazy.
oh that's like Alexander Payne's one of my favorite
Yeah,
directors.
yeah, he is awesome.
Because he really knows how to make characters who lie to themselves about themselves.
Leon and I both adore films that make you feel so uncomfortable you can barely stand in the
Yeah.
room. We love that.
I had this weird dream once about Matthew Broderick, who I feel no particular way towards. But anyway, he was dressed as Inspector Gadget, and it was a sexy dream. And I woke up being like, "What the fuck was that? I don't have any sort
Wait,
of."
I was only halfway
any-
paying attention now. Did I hear that right? Did I miss
anything?
something?
I don't
Perhaps it
particularly
was the,
feel any way
the
about Matthew
potential of those
Broderick.
mechanical attachments.
I don't know. I woke up very confused. Like, why am I having sexy dreams with Matthew Broderick?
I
That's
actually-
Go,
weird.
gadget sodomy.
I guess.
I actually met Matthew Broderick in New York City about a
Was he
year
sexy?
after Ferris Bueller's came out. And I met him on
really?
the street and I went, "Hey, Matthew Broderick." And he goes, "Yes." I said, well, I just want to let you know how much I like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He's like, "Oh, well, really, thanks." Because I don't, and he was talking about he didn't really know. It seemed like it was getting mixed reviews from critics at that point. And I was like, "No, I've seen it like 6 times in the theater," which I totally did. I had my birthday party. It was the third time I saw it. I had my birthday party with going to see it again with all my friends. Exactly. And he was really gracious, and he was waiting for something. I don't know, because he was just standing on a street corner. Maybe he was trying to get sex with me. I don't know. But he talked to me for like 5 minutes just about like Ferris Bueller's and stuff. And
that's sweet.
I've ever since I've been like, you know what?
He's
Matthew
cool.
Broderick is a cool guy.
All right.
What's funny is later that night we were at a bar in New York, which I shouldn't have been in because I was way too young to be in. But they did. Yeah, I guess back then they didn't care as
Yeah.
much. That was oh shit. What was that? What was the name of the God? It was another one of the Rat Pack movies where it was like a whole gang of them and Rob
St.
Lowe.
Elmo's Fire.
Yeah.
St. Elmo's Fire, and the bar was just called St. Elmo's.
Okay.
And we were like, oh, let's go in here, and it was all neon, like everything.
You said,
kinda
"Hey, let's
big.
start a fire," and Great White happened to be
No,
playing.
but Judd Nelson was in the bar. I was like, oh my God, that's fucking Judd Nelson. And he spent his whole time with these 2 blonde chicks, and one would leave to go to the bathroom, and he'd make out with the other one, and then the other one would leave to go to the
Tag
bar, and
team.
he'd make out with the
How
other
do
one.
you keep her from getting sucked up in those giant nostrils of his?
I know, right?
He did have Dionne Warwickian nostrils.
Yes, he did.
I didn't know Warwickian was a word.
It
I
is
thought
now.
I thought
Made it
that
up.
referred to Willow.
I
Or the
dated a
leprechaun.
guy once. He used to say that about himself, that he had Dionne Warwick nostrils. So I stole it.
That's
I
funny.
want
Was he
your
also
memoir
clairvoyant?
But let's take this moment. You brought it up, John Hughes. Let's
Okay.
go ahead and take that as a segue before we go back into the initial.
Well,
the
yeah,
big
John
Daredevil
Hughes
question.
was huge on my teenage years. I mean, I was teenager when all those movies were coming out, and I was. This may come as a huge shock to you guys, but I was a bit of a geek in high school.
No.
Yeah, I know,
What?
right? I know,
But
right?
you said you had a piano tie.
So,
Oh, I've killed Leo.
Oh, it hurts me.
So the whole notion of it was, I mean, as someone said it in one of the various obituaries that have been running around, that John Hughes was doing the Geeks Win before the Geeks Win was sort of the defining paradigm, which it is now. That was when the geeks started being sort of the heroes of the movies.
Yeah.
You had, and what I thought was interesting is that Molly Ringwald, he had female-led geek movies, which you just
True.
don't see a lot of. But I mean, Ferris Bueller's Day Off is one of those things where it's like what every teenage geek wished their life could be at that, like take that day and have that day. And I mean, and Breakfast Club was the whole thing of the thinking that everybody in school secretly, if they could just get a little time with you, they'd all like you. And,
All these problems, all these things were just
Yeah.
only because we're not communicating.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. What?
Has anybody seen Ali Sheedy lately?
No.
Is she married
Is
to
she
Kevin
scary
Kline?
looking?
It's really way
That was Phoebe
like
Cates.
Skeletor thin.
Really?
Yeah,
It's like that whole desperate actress. Oh my God, we're
I have
bad.
no
Well, I remember
idea.
seeing her in that movie High Art, I think it was, but that was like 10 years ago. And she wasn't looking too good then.
Wow, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And then of course Molly Ringwald, who decided she had to take off her shirt for every directed DVD movie she could manage to scam her way into for like 5 years, about 8-9 years ago, something like that. I don't know where she
Well,
is
she went off to
now.
Paris and became a model for a while.
Did she?
Yeah.
I mean, she
And-
was. I thought she got much better looking as a full blown adult, but even so, she lost that quality that she had. That something about her,
Sure.
that uniqueness.
The prepubescence that you like so much?
that was it. I mean, no.
She
What are you
was
saying?
super cute, and she looked gettable, and that was the thing.
Yeah, she was attainable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Molly Ringwald also the fashion thing. I don't know if this was her but it was something she had in every one of the movies she had. Her 80s fashion was actually not so bad. She had like the hats and the lace and all that stuff, and I don't know, it was 80s, but I kind of liked it. But I was a teenager, like I said.
In fact, Randy's wearing that right now.
It's true.
But with a skinny tie, so it's all right.
What's
Well-
good on him?
Well, like I said, like the high school I went to was like the one in Fame, and yet the high school movies that I most identified with were Fast Times at Ridgemont High and The Breakfast Club.
Really?
Yes.
Fast Times was 80s movies as well. I didn't identify with it, but it was probably my, oh my God, is that what high school's going to be like?
Oh yeah.
And thankfully they were wrong, except for the part about Sean Penn. That was absolutely dead on.
Yeah, we're just waiting for the Leog episode where you're smacking your shoe against your head. Hear that? That's my skull!
I'm so wasted.
Oh shit! My brother's gonna kill us. He's gonna shit. Well, what's he gonna do, dude? He's gonna shit or he's gonna kill us? Well, first he's gonna shit, and then he's gonna kill us.
But that wasn't John Hughes, to be fair. But still.
Yeah.
I know that.
you know-
My favorite John Hughes movie is Uncle Buck. To
Oh,
be
that's a
honest.
good one. Yeah, no, it's
I
great.
absolutely love
It's great.
Uncle Buck.
I've never actually,
Yeah,
I've
I
never
haven't seen
actually
that either.
seen Uncle
It's actually
Buck.
really good.
It is.
seen it once,
It's a lot of fun.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
I'll believe you. I've just never
Giant
seen it.
breakfast.
Yeah.
Outside of Uncle Buck, I'm a Ferris Bueller's guy all the way. I love that movie so much,
Yeah.
and not just because me and Matthew Broderick made out in the hung out in the street in New York.
We haven't mentioned one that I know is very near and dear to Cyrus's heart as far as John Hughes movies go.
Oh,
Dutch?
Yeah,
That
No,
is
weird science.
Weird
Oh, weird
science.
science.
Yeah.
Give me the keys. Give me the keys.
I'm not sure the science was entirely accurate in Weird Science.
You
but-
shut up, Randy.
They play a little fast and loose with the rules.
Yeah, Cyrus has been trying for the last 25 years to reproduce that experiment. So let
Oh,
him
God,
have that.
I did with my old Texas Instruments computer that was not even remotely connected to the internet.
That's because you didn't get the 4A version. You needed the TI-99 4A.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't wear the bra on my head.
Yeah, well,
It was-
there-
We
it was a
forgot the
key
doll.
component. Key component was the bra on the head. You had to do that.
Yeah.
very
yeah.
true.
I'll be alive.
Next thing you know, you'll probably be wearing a bra on your head.
You stupid buttwad.
Yeah, wonderful because of the first appearance of his character, of Bill Paxton's
Bill
character
Paxton.
from Aliens.
Which he was awesome. He was awesome in Weird Science.
Yes, he was.
Yes.
How
This isn't
about
funny.
And
How
doesn't
about a
Robert Downey
nice
Jr.
pork
Robert Downey Jr. was the
served
bad
He
guy.
play, yeah, he plays like
Yeah.
a jock in that.
He was
movie.
great. He's little
Yeah.
bits, but he was great in it.
Yeah, he was very funny in that movie. Everybody was funny in that
And
movie.
Anthony
Everybody
Michael
rocks.
Hall, or is it Michael Anthony?
Anthony
Anthony
Michael
Michael
Hall.
Hall.
That
He's in The
movie's-
Dark Knight. Go figure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That movie's got honestly, there's not a part about that movie I don't love still. I mean, it's funny because I think now as an adult, I go back and I rewatch them. I'm like, you know what? I think I like Ferris Bueller's a little bit better just because it was a better made film. But I adore the surrealism of Weird Science.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when
It's
like the
just-
Road Warrior guys show
Oh,
Oh
up.
yeah,
beautiful, yeah.
It's just
I
so
forgot about
odd.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely a sense of we don't give a fuck if you're buying this or not. We're doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Cyrus, wasn't it you that told me you read where somebody wrote a whole theory about Ferris Bueller's Day Off, where Ferris Bueller
yeah.
was actually like a Tyler Durden to Cameron, like Ferris Bueller didn't actually exist.
Yeah,
That's, there are like pages of this on the internet. I
And
swear to
it's,
God.
it's that thing where somebody first says it, you go like, "Oh, wait a minute,"
Oh my god.
and the more you think about it, you go like, "Ooh, that totally works."
You know, I was talking to somebody about this yesterday who actually came up to me and was like, you know what? I just figured out something and said that. I was like, you didn't figure that out. That's been on the internet for like a year. But regardless of that, which I'm sure isn't what he meant, it's a dark side of the Oz or whatever you call it type of thing.
Yeah.
Dark
It's
Side
just,
of the Rainbow.
Yeah, Dark Side of the Rainbow. It's the same thing. It's just like one of those somebody that, one of us media whores who spends way too much time thinking about this shit eventually found a couple links and went, oh my God, it kind of works. I assure you, John Hughes' intent was not that Cameron was Tyler.
well, clearly not, because we see too much of Ferris Bueller's life away from Cameron.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, who's driving the Ferrari? Huh?
Good point. Oh my God, he's totally right.
Edward Norton.
I'm sorry. Okay, so
Back to the original question?
and yes, and let's just say
Kayla's turn.
John Hughes, rest in peace.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rest in
You
peace.
brought so much to our lives.
Universe
he did
is
so
an
much.
Imperfect place.
Yeah.
Screws fall out all the time.
I mean,
Yes, they do.
Hell, not for him, we wouldn't have had The Girl Next Door,
Yeah.
or Can't Hardly Wait,
Can't hardly wait. Yeah.
or what was that remake of Heathers? Which I guess he didn't actually.
Remake of Heathers.
Mean Girls.
Oh,
Mean Girls was a total remake of Heathers.
kinda. It's not as dark as Heathers.
And it's pretty damn
It's
close.
a PC Heathers
It's
because
not like Jawbreaker.
because
Which is,
yeah,
Okay,
Jawbreaker
another
is
one,
more of
Jawbreaker,
a-
yeah.
more of a- yeah.
Wow.
If you were gonna say a remake of Heathers, I'd go more with Jawbreaker than I
Okay.
would Mean
So,
Girls.
so what was the question? And it's Kayla's turn.
The initial question was, what was that one thing off the top of
That
your head
one thing.
that you've had like an hour to think about now?
you can't even
you
do
adored
that
about
to
the
me
80s.
because the 80s are my 80s. I love those 80s.
We'll come
Well, tell
back.
us what you.
No,
some-
everything about the 80s. That's my one thing is the 80s. But it's funny.
And let's go through them.
those two numbers,
One.
the
What's
8 and
funny-
the 0.
is that I lived in the country during most of the 80s, so I didn't actually experience the 80s except through television and movies, and so it was like really disappointing when I got into the real world. And like fast food restaurants don't deliver food with like food shaped things on their car. Like that was like that was one of the most disappointing things that I learned. But
It's funny because it makes you like an Australian, where like everything over there is like 20 years after we get it. Wow.
That was your favorite thing, really?
No. She was just mentioning like that was an
okay.
odd thing.
Oh, okay.
You know,
okay.
can I tell
So-
you though that I mean I lived in the 80s and I still had the same thing. I was like disappointed that my real life wasn't anywhere as cool as the 80s in the movies and TV.
Well, I think that's probably true of every generation.
Yeah.
whatever
Randy
they're
Randy
watching.
thinks that when he orders a pizza with extra anchovies, he's at least going to get a blowjob.
Wait,
No, you
what-
have to
what?
order a big sausage pizza. That's the key word, but you won't get a
no,
woman.
it's extra
so-
anchovies. Come on, can't buy me love.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, okay.
Dude, you may be the only person in this room who knows that film
No, no,
that
no.
well.
I knew exactly what you were
Thank
talking
Is that
about.
the one with Patrick Dempsey?
Yeah.
Yes.
With McDreamy?
Dr. McDreamy.
except when he was skinny and not cute.
Yeah, I remember
thought he
watching that
was
movie
cuter.
in the theater going, oh, this
When he
isn't
was punk
bad.
rock.
But I never for a second thought he was going to become a major,
Me
like,
either.
you
I
know,
thought that guy was
male
kind of a
sexual
loser myself.
icon.
He took
Yeah.
his time.
But then again, watching Weird Science, I never would have gone, Robert Downey Jr. is one of the greatest actors of a generation.
Yeah, and never did I think that Wyatt was going to be teaching like English lit at Texas A&M.
I know.
But that was after being a supporting actor in Superboy, the series.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Elon Mitchell Smith, Superboy the series. Wow.
Yeah, he actually played like kind of a jock in Superboy.
But I guess, can I say my real favorite? I guess, can I say my favorite thing about the 80s that I didn't experience in the 80s?
Okay.
Fair, yeah.
Is monsters. 80s monsters rule the world.
Oh, they
Like,
were the
oh my
rebirth.
goodness.
It was the
Didn't see that one coming.
You know, there was the monsters in the there was the Universal monsters, and then there was the monsters in the 80s. That was like the next big renaissance of monsters.
Wait, examples.
Yes.
Examples.
Jason, Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, yeah. No.
Well, you could go
those
there,
guys.
but, and then you can also go small monsters where you go your gremlins,
Gremlins.
your critters, your munchies,
Yeah,
your
that's
true.
chuds, your chuds.
Oh, the chuds.
Ghoulies.
Boglins,
Yeah.
Mad Balls.
And then the show monsters. Remember the show
Yes.
monsters?
Yeah, the
That was
follow-up
in
Which
Tales
the
from the
only
well.
good part
Yeah.
was the intro.
Yeah.
But
Shit
What
series.
show monsters?
There was another
It was a,
like
it was a follow-up to Tales from the Dark Side. It was
Yeah.
like
It's another one of those like very hit and miss. They always had good writers, but the production values were
It was
awful.
mostly miss.
So it was
Yeah, I
like
remember watching some
Goosebumps
of
for
those,
adults.
Yeah.
but the intro, just Google that.
It was
That's
like
all.
Goosebumps.
Google
It
video
was like
that.
Goosebumps for mentally retarded adults.
I thought Goosebumps was Goosebumps.
It was terrifying if you had Down syndrome.
And a hangover.
I have this awful GIF I've never actually used on my closing the league questions things. I'm always tempted though, where it's like shows downloading and like the bar going, and then when the picture pops up, it's of a guy with Down syndrome.
Aw, dude, come on.
wrong.
That's
Once
wrong.
again, he's made us all uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, he made the first Down syndrome joke. Why? Is
Yeah,
that?
Jason
but
can
you
get away
took it
with
too
anything.
far. We were just having a good time, but
Yeah.
you had to say that.
You always walk over that.
It was all funny until you had to bring a GIF into it.
Where's my cat? I need someone who really loves me for who I am.
He just loves you because he feels.
All right, the Cajun twins. What are your answers?
Allison.
Cajun twin powers activate. Form of a bowl of gumbo.
If you can't think of
Yeah,
anything,
yeah,
you guys
Shaq.
can just make out. And
No,
that'll be good too.
Oh, can we? Please. Okay, I was going to say that growing up in the 80s, my family loved the British comedies on PBS.
Okay.
So to me, the 80s growing up
Was all about
always
Mr.
like
Bean.
Monty Python and Benny Hill and
Faulty
yeah,
Towers?
Mr. Bean, Faulty Towers.
Mr. Bean. Oh, I love that. Rowan Atkinson.
Yeah. So
Oh, God.
Blackadder, 80s.
Well, I didn't like
Catch
Mr.
Blackadder.
Bean. I was more of a
Benny Hill.
Blackadder?
No, Blackadder.
I just said that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, she's only said it like 4 times.
Well, I was looking for the next question.
He was thinking about us making out.
and maybe a touch of that. Yes.
Yes, we all think about that, but we're still able to answer the questions too.
and they're drinking. So
Multitasking.
multitask.
Yeah.
But anyway, I knew a lot of like boob jokes before it was appropriate for me to know them due to watching the Benny Hill show with my family in the 80s on PBS.
Man, I don't care what y'all say. Benny Hill was awesome.
Dude, I was never a big
Hilarious.
fan until after it was already over.
Oh,
a couple
really?
Years they put out a special that was like a collection of greatest hits and then a couple new things. I remember they had
Because with those
18
collections, a lot of times they put
parodies.
those later episodes on that
Yeah.
weren't so good.
Well, it was just like a couple the best of skits throughout
Uh-huh.
the years, and then they added stuff. And one of the ones they added was an A-Team parody.
Oh yeah,
That
but
was
even though it was later,
awesome.
it was still pretty funny.
Oh my god, that was
Yeah,
hysterical!
yeah.
And the that to this day is the go-to music for any chase, like silly chase scene.
Yeah. What, I
like you knew it was too obvious when Family Guy did it.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, I was just gonna say that one of my worst pranks ever pulled on me was one of my ex-boyfriends had a sketch comedy troupe, and they go, "Okay, will you videotape this?" I go, "Okay," and after 5 minutes of their comedy act, they put on the Benny Hill music, ran around chasing each other, ran out of the club, left me videotaping for 3 hours.
Oh.
And finally had to walk home 3 miles because they never came back for me.
Man, you're probably too tired for the snipe hunt after that.
Meanwhile, in San Marcos.
Benny Hill in my head always. I'm like,
Wow.
Betty Hill's associated with a bunch of bastards apparently.
3 hours. That's commitment right
Well,
there.
the thing is, like, when that song's playing, you're going fast. Yeah. So those guys were in Dallas before they knew it. And then they're like, well, what the fuck are we going to do now? So,
All right, we're going to take a quick recess. Kayla, wait right here.
we'll be back to finish recording. Will you keep an eye on the equipment? Okay. Kristen?
Much like Kayla had asked me to pick one thing from the 80s, it's like brain overload. But the one thing I will pick is the one thing that I loved it so much that I spent 2.5 hours in excruciating pain as 5 needles scratched across my spine to create my tattoo of the Orin, which is on my back if you haven't seen it.
No, you've refused to take off your clothes every time I've asked.
Well, only when you asked. Everyone else here's seen it, so whatever.
Well, I haven't seen
Randy,
it.
what does it look
Show
like?
it to Allison.
It's beautiful.
It's full of stars.
My God.
It is the Orin from the Neverending Story. I loved it so much. It's 4 inches across my back.
That's what they told you. It's actually Alf.
And I don't even want to tell you what the Chinese text flow it actually says.
I was thinking I wasn't getting my story interrupted because
I'm sorry. You're right. I am as
Is there an
guilty as
arrow
I
at the
was
base of her
anyway.
spine that says "insert here"?
No. It says cash only.
Once again, I wish it was a video podcast so you can see my face when he said that because I can't verbally describe the look of disgust.
She is looking at Leon like Michael Ironside is about to make his head pop.
Yeah, why is it so hot in here all of a sudden?
Suffice it to be said, that was not appropriate, Leon. Thanks for shutting everything down
You're
and
not
making
getting to
us
see my
all
tattoo.
uncomfortable. Sorry.
Note to self,
Kristen,
don't-
please go on with your story before Leon so rudely interrupts.
As usual. So, anyway, if you look on my Amazon.com list, there's a Nerf gun I asked for specifically for shooting people who make me uncomfortable or interrupt my story. So if you want to buy that for me, you will get to hear "Ba-doomf" every time I'm shooting someone in here when they do shit like that.
New rule,
Anyway.
no projectal weapons allowed into
Yeah,
the Leon
yeah, we're
section.
getting a metal detector on the door.
It's plastic, my friend. It's
We're
plastic.
getting a foam detector.
Back to my fucking story, though.
Yeah, stop interrupting her, Bo. I mean, Cyrus.
The Neverending Story is not a movie to me. It formed my psyche and basically all my spiritual beliefs about
Jesus
the
Christ, I'm gonna need
universe.
more whiskey.
It's the power of your own imagination, alternate dimensions. So when I started getting interested in string theory, I was like, fuck, it's science to back up my alternate dimension theory. But to me, I was a very insecure kid. Made fun of like hell, low self-esteem, and
Made fun
believe
of
it or
for
not.
what?
just being. I went to a private school. I was very different from all these kids. I was very individual.
So you were like the Harry Potter.
Yeah, I did my own thing. I didn't conform, and those kids just made it their job to make my life living hell every single day.
Yeah.
So needless to say, I had pretty low self-esteem. But look at me now; I'm the exact opposite. So
Where you're completely objectified by the creepy guy sitting next to you.
yeah, but the thing
You're
is,
objectified by the exact guy who was one of the people who used to make fun of you when you were in school. So
anyway. So
You've come a long way, baby.
fuck all of you. Anyway, so to understand what it means when Atreyu passes through the gate because he feels his own self-worth, I'm like, I've reached that now. Like, I believe in myself enough to do that. And Artax in the swamp, it is not a horse sinking into a swamp. It's a metaphor for watching someone you love very dearly lose a battle with depression, which I've gone through. So to have that scene come through, I'm bawling my eyes out because I know what that's like. So, this movie is far, far more than just a little 80s movie. It's my whole basis for everything I thought later in life.
I have a confession to make.
What?
I've never seen The Neverending Story.
Sweetheart, I'm going to bring it over.
I'm the
and-
only guy in the world, as far as I know, who hasn't.
I saw it
I
about
don't know how you
3
missed
weeks
it.
ago for the first time.
Oh, really? Okay. So
did
you
you
can
get the whole
still.
No,
depression
I'll make a confession as well. The main reason I watched it is because when I met Kristen, I saw she had the tattoo, and she like mentioned what it was, and I'm like, you know what? If I'm going to be hanging out with Kristen at all, I better see this fucking movie. And so I went and watched it. And I really liked it. But like I'd seen Princess Bride, and so that was like my big fantasy movie of that era, and I never saw Neverending Story. I knew I would dig it, but for whatever reason, it's like passed me by. So I was like, I'm going to go see this so that I know what she's talking about.
Good, thank you, Randy. Tell me better. But yeah, I just love the shit out of that movie. And
See, now she's going to kill me when she kills the rest of you.
Randy's on my safe list.
I like it when those little bastards corner him in the alley. He's like, "Oh yeah, motherfucker, got a flying monster."
That was awesome.
Run in terror.
I remember that part, and I was just so like, okay, so what happens when they go tell everybody that you have this flying monster? Do the villagers come with torches and pitchforks, and then the monster gets killed, and then he's sad again?
No.
No,
The
no,
bullies
no.
go to a psychiatric institution
Then they
because
lock
they
him
made
up
it
in
up.
a padded room.
That's right. That's the happy ending.
I want the
Plus, I was
Falcor
like-
skin rug.
Plus, right after that, it ends, and I'm like, this is not the never-ending story, if you ask me.
No, the never-ending story is, as they explain at the end of the movie, is
you
as
picking your favorite thing of the 80s?
Oh,
She never gets to talk, and now
I know.
you're giving her
Is
shit
there a
when she
bat
gets to
I can
talk?
just help him with that back problem with?
You know what? I take it back. Bring
Take
the
some
Nerf.
pills, fucker.
Bring the Nerf gun in. In fact, I have an actual shotgun in my bedroom. We can
I'll
put
just
some,
kick him.
we can
I
put
have
some
no
rock
problem
salt
just
in it.
fucking kicking him.
sit on the porch and go, Jason, get out of my yard.
Continue.
Train of thought.
as they say at the
The
end.
never-ending story is because as we, the viewers, are watching Bastian read the book, Bastian is watching Atreyu everything in the book. So it's maybe there's someone watching us. It's that element of back it off. There's one more person watching you. That's the never-ending story. Does that make sense? It's
Only because I haven't
Yeah.
seen the movie. So
you have to watch it.
I've always wanted to.
Give me some time. I'll bring it over and we'll.
Do you have it on DVD?
Oh hell yeah, I do.
Okay, well let's watch it. I'm all hip. I don't even think Mary's seen it actually. So maybe it's one of those like. You know.
Yeah, growing up too, when you're very small, Atreyu was totally hot. Now you watch it and you're like, well, he's still cute, but not in a creepy way because I was his age when that was. Oh.
I don't think I'm gonna have that reaction. No matter how much you want me to like it.
There's a childlike princess, but she's a bit much.
I tell you, I was just rewatching The Princess Bride last night though, and I was
Yeah.
like, man, what's the actress's
Robin
name?
Wright?
Yeah,
Robin
Robin Wright
Wright.
Penn. It's like when she was that age in there, she was just so hot. Oh my
Carrie Ellis.
god!
We don't have to feel creepy about that. She's older than you now.
No, I mean she was in her 20s, but
Yeah.
as you know, she didn't really get her second coming as an actress until she was in her 40s.
Yeah,
really.
like Forrest Gump.
yeah,
I watch that when I can't fall
And she was
asleep,
Jen A.
so.
Jen A. Yeah.
Oh, Janae.
But let's move on to the next question. Shadow 626 says, "What TV or comic book series in the 80s do you want to return from then that was like big then, and which ones do you think should stay dead?" So yeah, let's go into there.
What from then has stayed dead?
Yeah, it's all
Yeah,
being
nothing.
remade now.
I saw this question. I have an answer for this question.
Let's hear it.
Max Headroom.
Yeah, fucking
I
right.
love Max Headroom. I would love to see somebody do a modern version of it. That would maybe go more than like
If
8
you could
episodes.
come
or
over to the
however.
internets this time.
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
totally perfect for the modern day.
I'm actually waiting for someone to bring back Spuds McKenzie.
I think the
Well,
dog's dead,
how about
man.
Claire Pella and Where's the Beef?
Just died this week too.
Who died?
Sorry?
Since John Hughes, well, he talked about Spud McKenzie. I go, the Taco Bell Chihuahua just died.
He just
I
died.
did.
That kind of
I
broke my
did.
heart a little.
Probably from eating Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Probably.
Which I'm sure he was used in a taco
It was a
right
she,
after that.
actually. It was a she.
Yeah,
She
know.
she died the way
They don't like showing dog weighing
in
on
death,
TV.
She served the purpose that she would have loved.
Yeah. I would.
Let me just say, I eat at Taco Bell all the time, so I probably ate some of that dog. If that means anything to anybody.
You know, I'd kind of like to see a new Remington Steele
Oh yeah.
Remington
There's a good
Steele.
idea.
because that was a great show.
Wait, you notice how in the 80s, like, somebody would have a show and it'd be like a bunch of other, like 2 other shows that copied that? Like, okay, you look at me, like there was, remember Tales of the Gold Monkey?
No.
Because they would, like,
Oh, yeah,
they were
Bruce
doing,
Boxleitner,
yeah,
wasn't it?
well,
Yeah.
no, there was no, Bruce Boxleitner had another show.
Oh, no, it wasn't him. That's right.
It was Stephen, what's his name, who was on,
Bruce Boxleitner was
Seventh Heaven.
on Seventh Heaven.
Bruce Boxleitner was Scarecrow and Mrs. King, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but there was also
a different
another show. He
adventure
played
one,
Frank Buck, like the real Frank Buck, who was a real adventurer.
Yeah.
But like they were all Indiana Jones ripoff shows.
Yeah.
Tales of the Gold Monkey was good.
Yeah, that was the good one. But like,
Never
Remington,
saw
no, but it was Scarecrow and Mrs. King as a ripoff to Remington Steele.
Oh, okay.
And there might have even been another one that only like lasted like 4 episodes.
I
on a
never
different
even
network.
watched that one. I never watched anything with Bruce Boxleitner outside of Tron and Babylon 5. So
Okay, well, yeah, he was like sort of like he was the Scott Bakula of his day.
okay, fair enough.
Such a good parallel.
Hopefully, he won't be in the next Star Trek series.
I'm waiting for
never
them
know.
to bring back Simon and Simon,
You're not really.
or maybe
Wait,
Hardcastle
but
and
Bruce
McCormick.
Boxleitner, Bruce Boxleitner was
Jake and the Fat Man,
he was the dad of Captain Awesome on Chuck.
Falcon
Yep, that's
Crest.
right.
He was. That's true.
Falcon
I forgot about
Crest.
that. You didn't really watch Falcon Crest. Shut up.
You watched the first episode. You heard that name. It's like, ooh, that sounds cool.
I
was like,
watch if it was on TV. I watched.
dude,
it
I
in the
totally
80s.
watched like the first 2 episodes of Dallas because Patrick Duffy, who had been the man from Atlantis, was on it.
Honestly, the only soap opera that started in the 80s that I liked was The Bold and the Beautiful. And it was a daytime soap, and it was cool because when it started, it wanted to be that dark, edgy one a little bit at first.
You
So it was like,
are
it's kinda-
gay.
Hey, don't you what? Because I was watching Donahue, and it had the cast of All My Children on. And one of the guys was like, well, the thing about our show is like it's become really funny. And I was like, a soap opera funny? I think not. Well, I will watch you just to prove that you are not funny. It was funny.
I'll show you out there.
But of course, nothing was as good as General Hospital in the 80s.
Well, see, that was the thing. If you watched All My Children, right in between General Hospital was One Life to Live. You kind of just like sat through One Life to Live, but then came General Hospital, where there's a whole spy thing going on.
Oh, yeah,
Where they were trying to
Robert
find
Scorpio.
Robert Scorpio and the hunt for the Ice Princess.
Yeah,
What the
this
hell is happening here?
What was to go on to the next question?
awesome.
No. Robert Scorpio was a spy for the NSA. He was a
Oh,
British spy for the
God.
NSA, and they were trying to find the Ice Princess, which could
It
control
was the
weather.
Indiana Jones crossed with James Bond thing
Yeah.
going on General Hospital,
On
where they were
a daytime
fighting
soap opera.
They
Where's
fought
the Nerf gun?
ninjas for God's
Yeah,
sakes.
it was totally ridiculous. You couldn't believe they were doing it, but they were doing it.
And then after that, it was like Robert Scorpio and Luke and Laura versus the hypnotic magician who could like had telepathic powers and shit.
And they
You're
brought
like,
in
wow,
Anna. I
this
can't
is
remember
so
her last
fucked
name,
up.
but it was the chick
Yeah.
who played the White Queen on that New Mutants
Oh, God.
TV series they did.
Yeah.
The Generation X made for TV.
Yes, the Generation X. That was the one. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, we're not claiming for a second that anyone was a good actor.
Oh no. no.
With
no.
Max Headroom was actually in as the bad guy in the Generation X.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Oh, was
Matt
he?
Never
Frewer.
watched it,
Yeah.
so.
Anyway, bringing
Yeah.
things full circle so we
Yeah.
can move on to the next question, please.
I don't think we.
To be fair, All My Children after General Hospital was cool. Had that whole thing where the girl got possessed by a devil. You remember that?
That was good.
awesome. You
Yeah.
saw that, Kayla?
Wasn't that like
Badass.
Deidre Hall from Our
No,
House?
Deidre Hall was NBC. Come on, don't mix this up.
No, he's right. There was a later one that my mom watched. It was Days of Our Lives, where they
Yeah,
also had
that
a
was-
possession, but it was like after. the
Remember when we
popularity
talked
of
about
Buffy and
comic
all
books?
that, so-
Those were the days.
Please, like, if you guys are going to talk about comic books, I can sit in silence and appreciate it. But
Well,
if you're
the
going to talk
dudes
about
are talking about soap operas.
Yeah, I was
soap
wondering who all saw
operas,
this
I'm
shit.
throwing up a little bit in my mouth. Okay,
Wow,
so move it along.
We really thought you guys were going to join in on that.
I know. I don't know. I mean,
feel kind of naked.
that was the only time ever that soap operas were worth watching.
Yeah, it's true.
No. Next question, please.
Okay. Well, we're on this question too. What's the thing you'd like to come back from the 80s for TV or comic book, and what's the thing you hope never ever gets rejuvenated again? We only had as far as Leon and I on that one, really. So
I want to see. Was it Galactica 81?
Galactica 1980, sir.
yeah, so you'd see
1980,
Galactica
yeah.
2010.
No, Galactica 1980. No, that needs to stay dead.
There's a comic coming out soon.
Yeah.
I'll make sure and pull that for you.
No, don't do that because it was awful. Oh my God, it was. They finally found their way to Earth, and it turns out microwave ovens stop the Cylons. If
What?
you
Shut
run your
up.
microwave oven, the Cylon will stop dead in his tracks.
That sounds like an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Yeah, it does.
M. Night Shyamalan's Galactica 1980.
Say, what? It's just like War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
No, really?
No.
I think Saved by the Bell needs to stay dead. Like,
was that
Yeah.
80s or 90s? I thought it was
80s.
90s.
It was 80s.
No,
It was late
it was
80s.
Saturday
Is
morning
it-
cartoons.
yeah, it killed Saturday
Oh,
morning
it totally
cartoons
killed
for
Saturday
us.
morning cartoons. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
We
right.
were all excited. We'd wake up and be like, yay, cartoons. And Saved by the Bell was on. And
I
you'd
was
be like,
time for
"Ugh,
breakfast.
Yep.
time to
Yeah,
eat something.
it was one thing when it was Saved by the Bell, and then the next year they had like 3 clones of it, and NBC just announced like, yeah, we're not doing cartoons
I
anymore.
can gladly say I never liked that show. I think
Thank you.
sometimes I would sit there and watch it because I did not want to get up yet, but I never liked the damn show. And all my friends were like way into it, and they're like, so cute. I'm like, this show is stupid. There's no redeeming qualities about it. Stop talking about it.
I want DuckTales to come back. I want to
Ooh,
throw that out.
I love
there.
DuckTales.
Yeah, that was a great
DuckTales.
cartoon.
DuckTales was good.
Yeah.
And Misfits of Science.
Misfits of Science.
But I was
Misfits of
gonna-
fucking Science.
Hell
Okay.
yeah.
What I want back is Tales from the Dark Side, though.
Oh yeah, that was
man.
cool.
I don't know. I'm kind of mixed feelings about Tales from
Are
the
you
Dark
serious?
Side.
You know, honestly, it's pretty bad.
It is pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's, I remember really liking it, and then I watched that first season and went, okay, I really liked two of these.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the rest I was like,
Yeah.
good idea. Execution as bad as you could possibly even dream of
Oh,
doing.
yeah.
Did
It's
any-
unbelievable it's not a public access show as you're watching it.
Wow.
Did anybody see the thing that they tried to do kind of like that called Fear?
No.
That came out, and they
no.
aired like maybe 2 or 3 episodes of it, where it was kind of like it was going to be every week was going to be a new story, and once there was like a group of cannibalistic witches that lived in the woods, and people got trapped out there, and it was like Tales from the Dark Side, but it was produced now, and it was so bad that they had to.
Damn.
This wasn't the one
Really?
hosted by Henry Rollins, was it?
No.
Okay. So there were like a lot of anthologies, like horror anthologies recently that came out, like Forrest Whitaker doing The Twilight Zone and all that.
Oh, see, I didn't
Really?
even,
I
I never
missed
even
that
saw
completely.
that.
Oh yeah, he most recently Forrest Whitaker hosted like another Twilight Zone launch.
Well, that 80 was it in
Lasted
the
like a
80s
season.
that they did the second Twilight Zone?
Yeah, that was the
That
80s.
was
Yeah.
badass.
Yeah.
Some of them were.
really good.
Some of them were really good.
Some
Some
of
of them were awful.
so good.
Yeah, and they were still borrowing liberally from Richard Matheson,
Yeah.
adapting like The Box and stuff like that.
They
That was
did,
the one I
they did a bunch of
remember.
Harlan Ellison
They did a
stories
lot.
too.
He was a creative consultant. Harlan
Okay.
Ellison was, and the Grateful Dead did like a remix
Well,
of
the
the theme
movie
song.
was awesome.
Oh,
Yeah, I like
yeah,
the movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
NOSMOKING. No smoking.
You want to see something really scary? Well, that is a great movie.
Oh, I love Cretans.
Randy,
Yes. What?
did you have an entry for this?
Didn't I start? I started.
Yeah.
You
Did you
did.
start
I
it?
jumped the gun and started the whole thing and
Okay.
threw the whole thing out of
Well,
the
then
way.
Sid Max
Kayla.
syndrome.
Whatever, I don't care.
You don't care?
Bring
you
it
don't
all
want-
back.
No.
You don't want
like,
anything to stay dead from the 80s?
Well, I don't want it to stay dead. I just want it to be itself and not be remade.
Yeah, don't
I'm
remake
just
it.
tired
Yeah.
of this.
Bring it back.
Hey,
Like, seriously.
I am so with you on that. I am tired of remakes, and I am tired of everybody wanting to see a movie version of something they love, a video game or a TV show or a cartoon. It's like, look, why can't this just stay what it is?
Because that's the way it is, so you might as well try and make the best
Well,
of it.
I'm sick of it. People clamoring for it.
Oh, no, I hate the fact that people are clamoring for it. I totally agree with you there, but it is the way it is.
I know it's
And
the way
so
it is.
it's
And
like-
I understand movies need sources. That's
so
why they go to
the
novels so
argument
often.
is saying, okay, it's a done deal. This is going to happen either way. So let's say you're the person who gets to choose what one we're not going to do and what one we are going to do. And if you don't choose, someone else is gonna. So then what are your answers?
Yeah.
That's the point. Yeah, I agree with you guys. If they could just do all new stuff,
Yeah, it'd be
but
great.
perfect world and all that.
I gotta
But
say,
it's so good. Like I've been watching Masters of the Universe and Alf and The Outer Limits, and it's just so good. Like that's all I do is watch those things right now. It's like, please don't remake it.
Yeah, I agree with her. Like, can we just bring it back? Like,
Rerun.
as a rerun, but put it on like it's a brand new show. Only it's technically
Well,
a rerun. Just don't touch it. Leave it as it was.
Well, John Carpenter's The Thing originally started off as a theatrical version of Alf.
Yeah, to be fair, not every remake is a bad idea.
that's
I mean,
true,
The
man.
Thing
The
is
Thing is one of my
much
all-time favorite
much
movies.
better than the original
Yeah.
version in my book.
Yep.
I gotta admit, remember when Jason and I were both like, fuck new Dawn of the Dead remake. Fuck this movie right
And then
up
we
the
saw it.
ass. And
Yeah.
then we saw it and went,
Yeah.
I'm still to this day not sure which one I like better.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that one. And I know it sounds like heresy to slander the second installment of Romero's original trilogy, but the remakes just got it.
And I've been hearing
Except for the zombie baby.
The Muppet Show thing they did, the second Muppet Show, Muppets Tonight, was supposedly really good. I never saw it, but it was a new Muppet Show. It's like,
I don't know.
okay, I heard it was good. I mean, it does happen. Sometimes those coming back to stuff does work. Mostly not.
Mostly
Yeah,
not.
mostly not.
But sometimes
It also
does.
makes me sad when it does work because it gives you hope.
Yeah.
You extend grace to the next few attempts. You're like, okay, come on, I'm gonna give you a chance.
It's
Yeah.
the only
Okay, you
reason-
screwed me, but the next one might.
Is the only reason we saw all three of the prequels in the theater. Was that hope, despite all facts to the
I disagree. Next question.
Only because Cyrus is scrolling through this Wikipedia thing, so I saw something that
I'd like to come back, but only if it's Richard Dean Anderson. That's MacGyver. Let's make MacGyver now.
What's
wait,
with
wait.
you people in MacGyver?
I don't
get the
that show
MacGyver
was
thing
awful.
either.
Okay,
I have not seen MacGyver since the 80s, but it's like this idea of it was MacGyver and he could do what the fuck
Okay.
ever. He had the mullet.
ABC
I don't care. Let's
Like
do
when he went back in time and helped Merlin? I'm not making that up.
I remember
What?
Again, I didn't watch that much MacGyver, but
Swear to God.
it excites
Did you
Real
write
episode.
down what he made the time machine out of?
chewing gum, paperclip, duct tape.
I hadn't really been watching the show, but ABC did a promo for it where they had like little cuts of like his MacGyverisms all in a row, like a bunch of them. And watching, I was like, "Damn, this show is cool. I should be watching this all the time." And so, like the next time it came on, I sit down to watch it, and I'm like, "Fuck, is this stupid?" And the dialogue's horrible. And yeah, he does these MacGyverisms, but it's like with the Incredible Hulk, where there's like 2 Hulk outs per episode. So you're watching a really like a show that's melting your brain, but then twice he picks a lock with a chewing gum wrapper, and it's like, wow, that really wasn't worth it for just that. I'd rather go back and watch the promo that just had those things, cut out of it, the best of.
I would have liked it if he did stuff that was actually plausible. Because it was like, they'd always show, oh, look what he did. And then they're like, no, that wouldn't actually work. It'd be nice if they got a consultant that could say, yeah,
But
no.
see,
look
And
at
if he's so
something
smart,
else.
why does he have a mullet? Seriously.
It was the 80s. Everybody had a
a lot of
mullet.
people had mullets in his defense.
Not cool people.
Yeah,
No
not
offense to Allison.
not non-lesbians.
Jason, you were
had
not
a
a cool
mullet?
person.
No, I wasn't. I did have a mullet.
He was
Oh
also not a
my
non-lesbian.
I was a lesbian in a manner of speaking.
Yeah, I was a lesbian
didn't-
at 10. Come on. I had a mullet because everybody in my elementary school class had a mullet.
I did not drive a mini truck or listen to Indigo Girls. So,
Okay. So you were just a loser then.
yeah, pretty much.
Joe Dirt.
Going back to the MacGyver for a minute, can I just say they actually have made basically a modern MacGyver in the show Burn Notice, which is actually what MacGyver would have been if it was all the cool
I
stuff.
caught that on a plane the other day. And
It is all him doing like spy stuff, and it actually like supposedly works, more or less, and the actual stuff in between him making MacGyver shit is cool, and it is sort of a cool remake without doing a remake. So that's maybe the best of both worlds.
So see, to me, is my very best friend fucking loves the shit out of MacGyver, and it really inspired him because you really can give him some miscellaneous stuff, and he really does figure shit out just with this random pile of crap. And I'm always watching him do all this shit that works, and I'm like, where the fuck did you get that from? He's like, fucking MacGyver, man.
No,
So,
it's called being poor.
And he's like, for whatever
It's called
reason,
prison ingenuity.
I didn't actually like MacGyver when it came out. I thought it was dumb. I was just a little too old for it, I think, by the time it came out. But it's one of those things that have never gone away. And if there's
just-
gonna be a
people love it.
if there's gonna be a next generation, it'll probably be MacGyver. I mean, hell, they're doing a Saturday Night Live film. The next big Saturday Night
Yeah,
Live
MacGruber?
film is MacGruber.
Okay, to me, that's the reason why MacGyver can't come back. Because they've done MacGruber. That makes fun of it
Yeah.
so well that
You just see
it's a joke
MacGyver
now.
on MacGruber.
Yeah.
brilliant.
It was like, Steve Root, who, one of my heroes as far as, comic artist goes, and he was trying to put together a Nexus cartoon. And Nexus is so based on Space Ghost. He loves Space Ghost.
I love
But
Space
no,
Ghost,
me
too.
too. But once they did Space Ghost Coast to Coast, really making fun of that, and then I saw the parts of the Nexus cartoon he did, it was just like, dude, you totally missed the boat. There's no way you can do this now. It's just a joke. I'm laughing at it.
Well, because of Epic Movie, they can't really do another Iron Man movie either.
Okay, but there's a difference between a satire that's actually funny, right, and a satire that should be buried in a radioactive pit and never seen by anyone ever again. Okay, we're going to move to the next question, which is... And that question is from Leanne, who asks, "Hello, mighty Leaguenauts." Because we're suited up to go into the universe.
the Geekosphere.
Into inner space.
My question is this: what song from the 80s do you still like / love, even though it's cheesy as hell and totally embarrassing? Love listening to y'all. Emoticon. All of them? Kristen is dying.
Kristen, please.
take point, Kristen. Take
I
point.
cough on my
Put a
vodka.
fucking spoon in her mouth before
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, vodka. You can do magic. You can have anything that you desire. Magic. I hadn't heard that in years.
Oh my god!
And it came on
That's-
Pandora.
It was
and I
America, and that was after. That was like during like when Solid Gold was popular because they had drifted away, and they came
Yes.
back for that.
I don't know. I can't even tell you why I love that damn song, but it came on one day and I was like, oh, I love this song so much. So there you have it.
Sweet mother of God. That was really
You've never been
intense.
passionate about anything, have you?
No.
Nothing. Never.
No, not since the accident.
Are you Gary Busey?
The Gary Busey helmet protector. Sorry. Obscure SNL reference from the 80s. Anyway, who's next? Me?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought it was
Looking
gonna be
at
you.
You were talking.
All
I
right.
thought you were
Kickstart
taking
My Heart by Motley Crue.
it. Really?
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
There's
changed-
never a more rockin' song, period, in the history since Chuck Berry invented rock and roll.
I changed my mind. We're going backwards in time, and I never asked Jason that question. So, who wants to answer this
I
question?
love the Crue, man.
I am so like lately, just really been like for the last 4 months, been on a big Supertramp kick.
I love Supertramp.
But then I think like a lot of these Supertramp songs I love were actually 1979, so they don't qualify. But for me, the 80s, 1982, my band that was my band, still my band, ABC.
Really?
Like Lexicon of Love.
That's right. You like a lot of new wave, like
Oh,
early
they,
new
like
wave.
like they were like one of the like the main guys of the British Invasion / New Romantics.
Well, them and OMD.
Well, it was them and Spandau Ballet and Duran Duran. But to me, ABC, they had like just the most complex lyrics that could be romantic and political and go into so many different things. But I love the music too. But yeah, that album, Lexicon of Love, to me was like that album. Like, if I was going to date a girl and she listened to that, she was like, "Yeah, that was okay," and I was like, "Yeah, I don't think I want to date you."
Dude, you need to scoot over there because you're getting your gay on me.
And their last album they came with, Abracadabra, which was probably about 10 years ago.
Steve Miller Band.
Did you say
right
yes?
on.
Abra, abra,
No, not Steve Miller Band. It was
I wanna
ABC
reach
and it had an
out
album
and
called
grab you.
Abracadabra.
So Steve
And I thought
Miller.
it was probably their best album ever.
I actually, normally we actually, surprisingly, Leon and I agree a lot on music.
Is
we
this one where we don't?
I can't stand ABC. Even at the time when I loved all those other bands doing similar stuff, I was like, these guys suck. Oh, my
you're
God.
crazy.
Now,
I
ABC did
fucking
Millionaire,
hated
right?
them.
Who
Yes, they did.
See, I love that song. I still love that song.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on this. I'm with you on Kickstart My Heart. I'm even a little bit with Kristen. I'm a little afraid my
yeah.
answer is going to be.
Fuck yeah.
I may love 80s music too much.
Yeah,
It's
walk in a Rogues
awesome.
Gallery, you can tell.
I mean,
It's
isn't
just, it was fun music. You
Yeah.
didn't think too
Yeah.
hard because you were 8 years
Well,
old.
that-
You didn't even know what the
A big
lyrics
thing
meant.
about the 80s was that it was a throwback to the 60s because every generation throws back 20 years.
course,
Because with
yeah.
the 70s, it was all about going back to the 50s, like thus the popularity of Happy Days. So once you moved to the 80s, it was
Yeah.
the 60s and it was like
Yeah.
a lot of emulation there. But then when you get to the 90s, they were sort of like, well, we'll throw back to the 70s, but we'll just kind of bounce around.
Well,
And-
no, the 90s is like every 10 minutes changing your mind about what we want to emulate.
Yeah, exactly.
Which actually I kind of like. I like that.
It was such a soup of like, let's go back to everything because we can't decide.
Yeah.
And now it's just kind of like, bleh.
I'm just waiting for the next generation that goes, we're going to take from the future from stuff that hasn't even happened.
Please, or create something new for God's sake.
Yeah.
I still want the 20s back. I don't know why.
What is it with you in the 20s?
Yeah.
The 20s, I mean, the fashion of the 20s, I'd be totally into that.
I
Yeah.
would love to like do a 20s
5'2".
hairstyle.
Electric
Jock bra, electric jock bra. Everybody likes electric jock bra.
And everything was legal then, by the way. Nothing had been outlawed yet.
Yeah, except drinking that white only fountains. That wasn't so good.
Let's not bring that part back.
Okay, forgetting about your black issues.
I'm sorry. I'm just whining at this point.
When are you going to get past that? With you and your
Oh no, I wasn't allowed to.
You know,
say
Hey,
restaurant.
my ethnic group wasn't even recognized
When
yet.
we-
We didn't get out until 1980s. So
when
whatever.
we gave you
What the hell is your ethnic?
when we
group?
gave you
The
the
Cajuns were recognized as a nationally recognized ethnic group in the 1980 U.S. Supreme Court case.
Yeah, where they
And
say,
they were given-
okay, fine.
And they were given
You're not
official
white
Ruffles flavor at
anymore.
that time
You
as
get to be
well.
Cajun.
Leon.
Fucking minority. Fuck you.
Hey, when we gave Leon the black only microphone, we meant it as a compliment.
No, I'm sure back then I could have got a great job as a railroad porter.
No, you had to be Chinese.
A Pullman boy.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's it.
There you go.
I'm gonna slide in here with my answers for this. Stuff I'm embarrassed. It was embarrassed by, but I finally made peace with. And go, fuck it, I love it. Pretty much everything Journey ever did.
Oh, hell yeah, Journey.
Are you fucking serious? You just gave me shit about ABC, and you're touting
Don't
Journey.
diss
I'm not
the
giving you
Journey.
shit about ABC. I'm saying I didn't personally like it. I tried because I liked Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark. I like Spandau Ballet. I like Duran Duran, but ABC, nothing for me. But fucking Journey,
I love
Yeah,
they're the
Journey's
kings
great.
of arena rock. Oh
Yes.
my god!
No,
My
they
sister
were
had this
not.
great quote the other day. We were at home together, and I was playing my iPod, and she goes, "Why is it that it wasn't until I was 26 years old that I discovered Journey? I've wasted my life."
Dude, I owned the Journey game, Journey Escape.
I
when
love
it was a
that
video
game.
God, that game was fucking horrible.
I loved it
Yes,
anyway.
it was, and I
It was
loved it
horrible.
anyway.
It was a horrible
I still
game.
think the Separate Ways video is so fucking amazing because they are so fucking serious. They're not trying to be ironic, man. They are serious as shit.
I know
That's
it's
what
funny.
makes it sad.
I love it. I love the shit out of it.
I've gone full spiral on Journey, not full circle, but to where like, okay, I kind of liked him at first. Okay, now I'm tired of them and they're cheesy. And then they were gone for a while, and everybody kind of got back into
They're
them. Like,
back
oh
now,
yeah,
man. They're back
that was
with
kind of
vengeance.
cool.
See-
but now everybody has worn them out. Like,
Yeah.
you cannot go to any karaoke
Yeah.
where that doesn't where goddamn
I
just a
heard-
small town. girl.
oh, yeah, no,
I don't
I
want to hear that.
I
anymore.
heard "Don't Stop Believin'" on the way over here, and I cringed because I thought I'm gonna have to hear this at least 6 times on Rock Band after.
Yes.
Between
Well,
me
I'm
and Bo, yes. But I was at ACL last year, which is the Austin City Limits Music Festival, and Gnarls Barkley had just gotten off stage, and they set the music up, and it was "Don't Stop Believin'." Everyone in the crowd just stopped what they were doing, just belted out the
Oh, did they have
lyrics.
the
to
Asian guy singing with it?
no,
Or
no,
was
no,
it-
no,
or was
no.
the
It was
band
just
there?
it was just the background music while they broke it
Yeah.
down. But the entire audience was just belting the song out, and I personally felt bad for Gnarls Barkley because no one was singing along that hardcore to their songs. But
Yeah.
man, when Journey came on, forget it.
Our friend Hi, who y'all probably heard mentioned on Let's Do This more than you have here, but
Yeah.
but he's our friend as well.
Our secret Asian man.
is so excited about going to see Journey as they're coming to town here.
High is all about karaoke. And
Well,
if you're all about karaoke,
Yeah.
Journey is for you.
Well, we're all about Rock Band, and honestly,
Yeah.
Journey songs are the most fun songs to play.
They're a blast
No matter
on Rock
what
Band.
you're playing on it, it's the most fun songs.
I
to
think
play.
me and Bo are
I
always
would think
fighting over
Boston.
don't-
Boston is really good too, but Journey is awesome. Actually, okay, all right, I take that back. Boston Foreplay Long Time,
Yes.
is the best single song
Thank
to
you.
do
I'm
like
sick of
as a
that
full
one
band
on
effect.
Rock Band.
But anyway, High is going to see Journey. He's so excited, and he can't get anyone to buy the extra tickets that he bought. He bought more than
No,
one
I'm
ticket
sorry.
for it.
It's Perry or nothing for me.
That's exactly
I'm
it.
gonna
I'm
lead
like,
us, I'm sorry.
I don't
Kristen, I don't know if you're aware, but they found a guy in one of the Southeast
I haven't
Asian
No,
seen
we
him
countries.
totally
yet.
know.
I hear he's amazing. I
Yeah.
haven't seen him at all.
Apparently, he sounds exactly like Steve Perry.
Yes.
I hear that.
But he's not Steve Perry.
He's not Steve.
No,
Perry.
no, he's better than Steve Perry. Like, if you heard him, you could not tell the difference.
I've heard him, and you can't tell the difference. And yet, he's not Steve Perry.
I would like to see him.
Everybody
I'll
I've
give him a
talked
chance,
to
but...
has described Steve Perry the same way we do Lance Armstrong. That he's actually, in
I'm
real life,
sure
a
he's an
a
ass.
huge
Oh,
dick.
yeah.
I hope he is. I want Steve Perry to be a huge douchebag.
As long as he appears on
But it's
Entourage,
not
I can
Steve
forgive
Perry.
it.
Exactly.
Did you rub a magic lamp or something? Because
It's just
he
one of
is.
those weird celebrities that you go, you know what? He's Steve Perry. I don't love the guy. I don't think he's a super genius or anything, but he's Steve Perry.
He can sing some songs. I don't care about his personal life. I don't
Yeah,
even know.
exactly.
Don't care.
There's
It's one of
just
your
something
songs.
Yes,
about
but
Steve
his
Perry.
being a dick led to him not being in Journey anymore.
I'm going to keep saying Steve Perry until people are like, wow, that doesn't even
Perry,
sound like
Perry,
that's his name.
Man, you know when
anymore.
he went
Weird
solo
word.
and he did that song Sherry, he probably thought, I'm going to be king of the world. Fuck those guys in Journey. And then we never heard from him again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
they
what's-
did have to get his permission in the final episode of Sopranos. They actually had to get his permission to use that song because he didn't want his song over like gore or violence.
Oh,
so
well-
he got to see the final scene before anyone else did because he had to okay it, and he okayed it, so they got to.
Sure. we blame
because
Steve
absolutely
Perry?
nothing happens.
We have
at
to
the
blame
end of
Steve
Sopranos.
Perry for the shitty end of The Sopranos?
Apparently.
Okay, I take everything
Yeah.
I said back. Then.
They called him up after he got done at the night shift at the Waffle House. And he was like, finally, This Journey thing is going to pay off.
He just finished mopping up some kid's syrup
Yeah, that's
pile and cracker crumbs.
He's
out
crying to himself, going, "Don't
Vinyl.
stop believing."
Where he was talking to Leon as he was trying to get him to leave. You're going, "What you reading for?"
If he's getting royalties off of that song, though, that man
like,
never needs to work
Fuck
again.
you guys. At least I'm going to get to see the last scene of Sopranos before anybody else does.
Wow, this kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go out to my Z-Rock.
I rock.
I rock.
Wait,
I rock.
his 16-year-old manages, Mr. Perry, could you get back to mopping, sir?
Do we have another answer for this question?
Not one that's going to top that.
Yeah,
Journey has a way of like causing a whole.
it does.
Stir!
Yeah.
Passionate stir!
Holy
So
shit.
come on, somebody. This is a good question. Everybody, I know you guys. What is a song from the '80s that you still like, love enough, even though it's cheesy as hell and totally embarrassing?
You know what?
75309.
You know
That's
what
a
I've
great
got?
one. Anything?
I actually the Cutting Crew. I Just Died in Your Arms
Oh,
Tonight.
that's
That was the song. That was the song with my first girlfriend, and I
Tonight.
still have a fondness for it.
I just died in your arms.
It's horrible.
tonight.
It's a horrible
Something
song,
you
but it reminds me of her, and I still like it.
Man,
Cute.
after
I like
there
that.
was
That
Will
way,
Ferrell and Horatio Sands did that skit on SNL where they were like a wedding singer band. They kept singing that song. I wasn't crazy about that song, but they just like put it in a place where like, okay, I totally enjoy it by laughing at
Right.
it now.
No,
Yeah.
there was a song Rosanna by Toto. Saying
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I totally understand that song is terrible, but there was a redheaded girl I was totally in love with whose name was similar enough that I could substitute it in
Right.
the song. And yeah, that's why.
You know,
You actually made that song worse.
talking about music though, I still just love the animation, the Aha Take on Me.
Oh,
video.
Oh yeah.
Everyone
You know
remembers
what?
that.
That is one of those
That's
songs
nothing to
where
be
it's like,
embarrassed
God damn it.
No, I'm not embarrassed by it. The
you can't
animation
help but
was
like that
incredible.
song.
It was great. Yeah.
Now, Real Big Fish does a kick-ass cover of.
Okay, now
of
that
song.
you should be embarrassed.
I love Real Big Fish
No,
to this day.
I'm okay with any covers of that song, but when they changed the lyrics, someone did a cover and they changed the lyrics from "It's no better to be safe than sorry" to "It's so much better to be safe than sorry." I'm like, no, I'm sorry, you can't change that lyric. Not okay by me.
I always imagine when he hit those high notes, it was because the bass
No
player
one
came
can
up
do that.
behind him
Oh,
with the
God.
guitar and stuck it through between his legs and just racked him at that point.
You know, I would ask Kayla, but I'm sure there's nothing you've ever been embarrassed by liking. So
I'm embarrassed and I'm not very smart, so I'm not sure like what is in the 80s. Just like I just like every song, and so I'm just like, what if I accidentally say something that's not from the 80s?
Say it anyway.
Yeah, say it anyway, throw it out there.
I don't have an electroshock hooked up to the couch, so it'll be all right.
I don't know, so it's kind of scary. I don't know. I'm a big karaoke fan, so pretty much if you get any song started, I could probably go along with it. So yeah, everything's just.
Carry on my wayward son.
Nope.
I'm not sure that's 80s. I'm thinking that's 70s.
Hair metal.
Is it?
I
Oh,
like
well.
that hair
Right
glamour
on.
rock.
Right on.
Round and round.
Oh,
What comes around
And goes
goes
around.
around.
Yeah,
Until you buy.
that may still be one of the worst album covers of all time. The "Fuck Like a Beast" album with the where you had the what was it, leopard skin G thing with a buzzsaw
yeah.
coming through it. You're like, so what are you saying, dude?
So-
you think that women are seeing this and going, "Oh, my panties are wet at the thought of my vagina being ripped to shreds by your buzzsaw penis"?
Speaking of covers,
Wow, that went to a weird place.
a local
That's what I do.
a
Randy.
local kind of punk bluegrass band called the Meat Purveyors do an
Oh, I love those
awesome
guys.
cover of Round and Round by
That's
Rat.
hysterical. Hey, and it's on Rock Band, by the way.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, but that is a good choice.
Thank
I
you
was
very
more
much.
I was more of a Cinderella guy myself.
Okay.
Okay, so that's not the "You Spin Me Right Round."
No, that's
No,
Dead or
that's-
Alive. That's,
that's
not
Dead or
metal.
Like a record,
Yeah.
baby. They just sampled that in some song recently. I was like, fuck
Yeah, they
that
did.
shit.
I love
Fuck
that
you.
song.
Have you
But
seen that?
the new one with the sample in it?
No, the original.
Have you
Is it
seen
Flo
that?
Rida or T-Pain? I get those two guys
Flo
confused.
Rida, I
You
do.
know
Flo
I
Rida?
don't know
Okay.
the answer to that.
Have you seen that person lately?
Pete Burns?
I would say yet a male or female, but I'm not quite sure where
Well,
to
see, the
draw
rumor
that
was that he
line.
got like the full sex change. And
No,
then-
I don't think so. I
no,
think
no.
he's
Well, they
still.
on how I was listening to Howard Stern, they called him up because they're like, "Wow, you got the full sex change. Let's call him." And they called him, and he was like, "No, I didn't get the goddamn sex change. I don't know where you got this rumor from." He's like the total guy,
He just
What are
apparently
we talking
really
about?
the
likes
lead singer of
makeup.
Dead or Alive.
Oh, I thought we were talking about someone we knew for a minute. You said Howard Stern.
Well, they
That's
do
why
amazing
Bo isn't
things in
here
Morocco.
tonight.
Grant got a real
How
cheap
we
operation.
both win for a different league than Robin at the same time.
I'm glad I'm here.
If you aren't here, we are ripping on you.
That's
which is
right.
4 weeks of Jason not being here, man. Did you
Oh,
listen to all
God.
those?
I'm gonna have
We're
to go back and listen to
celebrating.
these.
Yeah, don't listen to
yeah.
those shows, Jason.
Yeah.
They're a little ugly.
It was a roast. It was a roast. It was a heartfelt roast.
To be fair, there's no way he didn't listen to them.
What are they saying about me while I'm not here?
There's no way. He's heard them like 6 times.
He had to keep
I was
starting
wondering why
over.
Mikado sent me a dress. Congratulations.
He learned shorthand just so he could write while he was listening of all the shit he wanted to do to us for what we said about him. Okay, let's go to the
falling
next
down
question.
list.
Yeah, exactly. Shoot Hamaguchi. Okay, I don't know what that means. Does that mean anything?
Do you ever know what any of the names mean?
No.
Not
Man,
so much.
You know who would know what that
But I-
means? Jalford.
Jalford.
Don't
Yeah,
even
but-
say his name.
If only
It's
you
like
had-
a fucking candy.
If
Oh
only
no,
you had
now he's
banned
gonna
Jalford.
jump out of the mirror and kill us all.
I know. You have to stand in front of the mirror and go, Jalford, bloody Jalford, bloody Jalford, bloody Jalford.
No, don't do that. Not
20
3
times. And
Stop
then,
it! Stop it! Stop it! I don't approve
Yeah, you
this
say it
topic
20 times,
conversation.
and then guess what? We still don't do a fucking anime episode.
and if he responds, he
Come on,
gets-
now that he's been banned, we can do one.
If he responds
Next week,
with
right?
whatever new avatar he's created, he gets banned again. Shoot Hamaguchi, who has a cool name, even if I don't know what it means, says, I would like to hear your thoughts on 80s action films like Roadhouse, Tango and Cash, No Retreat, No Surrender, Chuck Norris's many great films. Okay, you lost me there. Big Trouble in Little China, etc. Well, you named one good film with all those.
Yeah.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Listen, you know what? I
He's
wrote
got
down a
a
list.
list.
I've got
Oh,
a list
wow.
here too, right?
Holy hell, they're
80s
prepared.
action was the best action movies. Nobody has topped action movies.
I'm gonna
80s was
hand
the
this off
golden
to
age.
Leon and Randy.
Golden
to-
age,
and
right?
debate.
Nobody. I mean, it went all CGI and got shitty.
Well, yeah, but the thing about the 80s was when it came to action movies and storylines that were going on in comics, these are the stories that have been repeated over and over. Like
Yes.
the franchise from the 80s are the ones you keep getting like sequels to. You get sequels to the 80s franchise movies. And when it comes to comic book movies, the stories they repeat are the ones from the 80s. And everybody wants to see Tony Stark as a drunk.
Yep.
When did that happen? In the 80s. Daredevil and Elektra in the 80s. Everything, all those X-Men stories, the Phoenix and the death and rebirth of Phoenix, the 80s. They all came from that period. Randy, your list might be shorter than mine because mine is 2 pages.
You want to throw it back and forth a bit? I got Untouchables. I got Die Hard.
Untouchables?
Untouchables.
What was that?
It was
Untouchables?
the gangster movie.
Brian
Are you
De
fucking
Palma.
kidding me?
Sean Connery.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hated that movie.
What? How can you hate the Untouchables?
I'm serious. If you go watch it again, you probably haven't watched it in a
No,
long time.
No, I
agree.
watch that movie every year.
No, I agree that it's not as good as it was then, but even so, it's still really
the
good
the
movie.
dialogue in that movie is so.
I mean,
horrible.
even
Well,
with
yeah,
them
it's
ripping off
Mamet.
Battleship
I mean-
Potemkin and the whole deal, it's still
yeah,
you
it's
know.
David Mamet. It's not supposed to sound like real people, but it's,
David Mamet.
yeah, Mamet wrote that movie.
yeah, it is.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah.
Let's go do some good.
Well, it's just like a wop bringing a knife to a gunfight.
No, that's awesome. But like I made a list of just big time iconic movies from the 80s.
Yeah.
And I was amazed by how many I came up
Oh
with.
yeah. Well, anyway, yeah. Die Hard, Lethal Weapon, Predator. What else?
Terminator,
Yep.
Commando, Empire Strikes Back, Evil Dead 2,
Evil
the,
Dead 2.
the Fly, Fright Night, Gremlins, Highlander.
Here we are, born
okay,
to
Lethal
be
Weapon.
kings.
Road Warrior, and
Wow,
Thunderdome.
Did you say Aliens?
I thought you did.
Aliens is one of the huge ones there.
Poltergeist, RoboCop,
Yep.
Wait, those are just movies in general, not action.
Wrath
Yeah,
of
they're
Khan,
just
Superman 2, The Thing, Tron, and Uncle Buck. Not really a
Not an action movie. Yeah,
but-
Yeah, well, I thought we were talking cheesy action movies.
But
just action movies in
those are
general.
the movies that you keep getting.
I'm
like,
sorry,
okay,
I'm
we're
sorry,
doing
you
a
guys
new one.
didn't mention just Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I was about to say
Raiders
all three
of the Lost
of
Ark.
Indiana.
Period.
Yeah.
There is
Yeah.
no other film you need to even speak about.
Raiders,
Indiana
quite possibly
Jones,
the greatest
the
action
trilogy.
movie
ever.
Period.
Absolutely true.
And Harrison Ford not only played Indiana Jones, he played Han Solo. No one has gotten two of the coolest roles ever.
No. Harrison Ford can do as many shitty movies as he wants, and he's trying really hard, but he will never be uncool because he did Han Solo
Oh
and
my God.
Indiana
What a
Jones back to
sexy
back.
fucking man.
I've got to point out here, though, in a question that said 80s action films and listed Roadhouse, Tango and Cash, No Retreat, No Surrender, and
Yeah.
Chuck Norris's films. I don't think they're asking about the Harrison Ford.
No,
high-end
they're
movies.
probably
So
not.
he wants just a
but
shitty
you know what?
one.
No,
It's like
the ones that are
Randy
good,
and Leon
but
just
not
went off and started
legendary.
doing all the good stuff. I mean,
Oh,
this
I'm
guy
sorry.
specifically said no retreat, no surrender.
I totally forgot Escape from New York.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
was that
see,
not
again-
70s? I thought that was 70s.
No, that was 80s.
Wow,
So,
that
no,
was
again with the
80s.
good
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, this guy's talking no retreat,
Well,
no
now-
surrender, Jim Cotta, The
I
Last
have,
Dragon.
I have a fondness for Tango and Cash and for Last Dragon, by the way.
Hell yeah.
And, actually, I was going to say...
Commando, Red Heat.
Fucking Commando, yes, thank
That's
you.
also
No, no.
Steve Bennett.
Commando,
Yes.
that was Jeff Loeb's finest hour.
Just
But-
Jeff Loeb wrote
That's-
Commando.
Jeff Loeb wrote Commando.
Oh my
To be fair, the reason we like Commando is because it's so awful.
It-
it's
it-
really
it's
wild.
horrible on a new
It's
scale.
the G.I.
but-
Joe of its time.
Yeah, but it is. It's so bad that it's
The Red
fun to
Hulk
watch.
of its time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the Ultimate 3 of its time.
But Big Trouble in Little China was riffing off of the fact that the 80s were full of these horrible
yeah.
action movies, and therefore it's the best.
Yeah. No, Big Trouble in Little
Big
China
Trouble-
is one of
Genuinely
my
good.
absolute favorite films.
We
I
may be
love that
trapped.
movie. In fact,
Son of a bitch must pay.
in fact, the questions for this post, that I closed off, I always use a GIF. I used the
Oh, yeah, that
end
was a
of
great
Big Trouble in Little China, where the best villain death of all time. And if you haven't seen the movie, don't look at that post.
Jack Burton.
And I
Nice
have
knife. Prepare to die.
I have a whole, when I was at work, you can ask Leon, and I'd have a moment where I was about to, burn it all. I'd mime like I was flipping the table over and say Roadhouse.
That was her catchphrase.
I've actually never seen.
Be nice.
Me neither.
Until
Me
it's
either.
time to
Me
not be
neither.
nice.
Never seen.
Oh, it's awesome. I saw it so many times.
But was Point
about
Break
flipping
was
tables.
Point Break in the 80s?
yes.
I
Yeah.
love that movie.
Last Boy Scout, Point Break.
Last Boy
Last
Scout's
Boy Scout's awesome.
Shane Black.
Shane
Yeah,
Black.
yep,
yeah.
Shane Black.
yeah.
And
Who also
wrote
wrote
that.
Predator and was in Predator.
Oh, I
By the
didn't know he wrote.
Oh, he's in
that.
Predator?
He is in Predator. Yeah, he's the nerdy guy with the glasses.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Didn't realize that.
He's one of the guys who
Wow.
dies.
Yep.
Pretty much everyone.
Yeah. Gonna have to be more specific there.
So yeah, we're still getting Terminator, Predator movies, all that stuff from the 80s.
But still, no Jim Cotta 2. What the hell?
Waiting for the right time.
I've never seen Jim Cotta either, but unlike my last response to the film I haven't seen, I have no intent of seeing.
Can
it.
I give some props to the 80s ninja craze?
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
American Ninja 1 through 18?
Michael Dudikoff is a god among men.
Don't forget the Ninja Gaiden video games.
The Ninja Gaiden video
Oh, yeah,
game.
ninjas were everywhere.
Sho Kasugi?
Oh yeah.
Enter the Ninja, Revenge of the Ninja, Ninja 3 The Domination,
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja
Well,
Turtles.
that's not really what he's talking
Turtles in
about. I
Time.
think.
Whatever. It says Ninja. Shut up.
I think the 80s, as far as 80s movies, they were the best at the titular line. Like, they would say the line or have a theme song with
Oh, yeah.
the name, the title in it.
Yeah.
Like Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
Listen, past the first song on the credits to the second song on the credits. It's amazing. The most amazing Lethal Weapon song you have ever heard in your life.
Because the first song on the credits is "I'll Be Home for Christmas" by Elvis, right? And then
And the next.
okay,
and then
so-
it's literally about Lethal Weapon.
awesome.
And Kelly, you're so right about the catchphrases. I mean, when it comes
Yeah.
to
Oh,
the
that was
80s
the
was all
era,
about the catchphrase.
which brings us to our next question. Jobu needs a refill. Asks, asks
Up your butt,
what was your
Jobu.
favorite cheesy line from the 80s? Like, you've just been decaffeinated from Lethal Weapon 2.
I was gonna say,
I
Jake
actually
just
like
said
the-
let off some steam, Bennett.
That's the one.
that
Was it
the
Lethal
one.
Weapon 2, though, that had the one with the whatever revoked? What's the line?
Oh,
It's
diplomatic
just been
immunity.
Yeah, that was Lethal Weapon 2, 89, actually.
Yeah.
so-
You must not drink and bake.
What is that?
Well, I don't know what the hell that is.
From
That was a passage to India.
How How about if it bleeds, we can kill it?
No, what was that from, Allison?
Total Recall.
Total Recall.
Oh,
What's
wow.
on Drink and Bake?
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, nobody ever told Cyrus that one.
I always think of that. I think of get ready for a big surprise,
Open your mind, Quaid.
or just screw you.
See you at the party, Richter.
That was another thing in Commando, and it's like, it's over, John. Just admit it. Bullshit. Now that's writing right there.
Let off some steam, baby.
Yeah, nobody could deliver those lines like Schwarzenegger. That was his gift.
On the Commando DVD, there's like the last one they put out. There's like 12 different takes of lines they tried out.
Oh, really?
Instead of let off some steam,
Oh,
like
my
they like
God.
kept going to it, like trying different shit that totally fails.
Wait, because let off some steam was the best one they could come up with.
That's what they
It's like
that's what they ended up with.
I was like, my God, that is the worst catchphrase I've ever heard, and yet it's stuck just because everybody knows it's so bad. Hey, what happened to that guy you were hanging off the cliff? I let him go.
I mean, my favorite catchphrases from 80s films are from Evil Dead 2. But,
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
come on, just a one word.
It's a
Jason,
given.
help me out here. What's the one word best quotable thing from the Evil Dead 2?
Groovy. Then there's, of course, Ghostbusters,
Yeah, you
Goonies,
can't-
Gremlins, E.T.
You can't use the phrase "who you gonna call" anymore.
yeah.
It's
No.
now
It's
unusable.
done. It is done. It's true.
No, I mean, even if you just say it in conversation, like, well, who are you going to call? and then
what-
someone always says
Someone's gonna
Ghostbusters,
say Ghostbusters.
and then you want to punch them until their head
That's
caves
what
in.
I love. There's a Buffy episode where Spike goes, Buffy's gonna go call somebody, and Spike goes, "Who are you gonna call?" And he says, "Oh, that phrase isn't even usable anymore, is it?"
It's very true. There are so many great quotable lines that are still okay to say from Ghostbusters, though. Like, what about the Twinkie being my
All right,
Are you a god?
it's true. This man has no dick.
Dick. Ray, when someone asks you if you were a god, you say yes.
Cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria.
But, you know, I mean, let's just throw them out there. For
Let's
other
go
movies.
around-
I am the
Let's go
key
around-
master.
Actually,
Are you
let's
the
go.
gatekeeper?
People throwing out the lines, and then we have to guess what it's from. I'm going to go with, why is that watermelon there? I'll
Buckaroo
tell you
Banzai.
later.
Sorry.
No, not too much. We still have a long way to go.
Wait, no, I want to. We got to get to the
Right,
guesses
we gotta-
after
we
everybody
gotta
says them. What
Oh,
is
the
that?
guess.
What is that?
I don't know.
Never-ending
Oh.
story.
Never-ending story. That's why I
It's
didn't
the
know.
one horribly
I was-
cheesy line that
she's-
Bastion says that I'm like, stop.
Kristen showed me her back. She's taking her shirt off. I was like, finally, thank God.
Yeah, but we got
But
to see the front.
the rest of the guys got the bra. Actually,
I was like,
that was fine.
What is going on?
Leon, you were going
2 days ago, I saw a vehicle at all that tanker. You want to get out of here? You talk,
Talk to me. Road Warrior.
Yeah.
Wolfman's got nards.
Oh, yeah,
Monster
yeah,
Squad.
Monster
There
Squad.
we
Yeah,
go.
you should have seen Kayla's face light up.
I threw out the Fred Decker, and she lit up like a Roman candle.
I'm just saying if I was your accountant.
Nobody?
Nobody?
What? Say it again?
I'm just saying if I was your accountant.
Yeah, I don't know.
Midnight Run.
God, I haven't
Come
seen that
on.
in forever.
Right.
I love that movie, but
And I
haven't
had
seen
it
in like
listed
10
on my
years.
sheet.
Oh,
too.
man.
This
That's
is one that. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I am mostly.
I love that movie.
This is one I can't. I feel compelled to do every time I meet someone named Sarah. Turn back, Sarah. Turn back
Oh,
before
Labyrinth.
it's too late.
God. Of course, that had to come up.
How about this one? Ooh.
I don't have a clue. What is that?
Any
Yeah.
Ernest movie ever.
Ernest. Are you serious?
Man, she trumped us with the Jim Varney card.
Oh, God.
You know what I mean, Vern?
I'm dying. I love doing these. I'm just going to say this right now. All right, go.
Allison.
If you don't let me gut out this house and make it my own, I will go inside and I will take you with me!
Beetlejuice.
Yes. Thank you. I forgot about that one. That's awesome.
Okay, no.
I've said that to several boyfriends.
I have one that I'm sorry is not funny, but it kind of is in its own way, and of course I would have to say it. Dog will hunt. Sorry, there's a little Chainsaw Massacre too.
Yeah, no, I know.
Not Primus.
I know. I was gonna say I know that from Primus. Dog will hunt.
That's Choctaw.
Sorry, I love that song. What? No one knows any quotes from the Beastmaster? Come on.
No, but the barbarian films of the 80s changed my life. And I thought I could talk to animals after seeing Beastmaster.
Dude, okay, look.
Look, they did a
movies-
lot of sword and sorcery movies during that time. A lot of them were crap, but I really liked the Beastmaster.
But even the ones that were crap, a lot of those were good. I mean, tell me that the Beastmaster was a quality film, and I'll tell you you're full shit. But I love it anyway.
Yes, it's G.I. Joe.
And I'll tell you what, Sword and the Sorcerer. Oh my God.
Yes.
Clash of the
Yeah,
Titans.
Clash of the Titans.
Except Matt Houston marries his cousin at the end of it.
Okay, well, I outside of
That always creeped me out.
Outside of Leon's weird ethical problems, then but I'm from West Virginia apparently.
Yeah,
so-
when that kind of thing went on willy nilly.
What about Lady Hawk?
Oh,
actually, I'm that guy who doesn't like Lady Hawk.
Rutger Hauer had a 2-bolt crossbow.
I'm that one guy who went, yeah, I thought that kind of sucked.
No, I saw it for the first time in college. I just loved it.
I mean,
but
like I said, I'm the one guy. So.
I'm a huge Birds of Prey nerd. Again, I really want a falcon one day. So
yeah,
that's my
fair enough. I know
That
some
she
people
would
who
have
do love
sex
that.
No, I wouldn't. What's your fucking problem, Leon?
that's what the
Jesus
movie's all
fucking
about.
And don't forget about Legend.
I am not the only thing I like
Yeah,
about
we're
Legend
not
is
crazy
Tim
about
Curry.
Legend.
That's it.
Legend's
Tim Curry
good.
is the
The-
only redeemable quality. of
The
that.
cinematography in that thing is fucking gorgeous.
It's just so fucking boring. You're like, what? Oh, God.
It's a fantasy.
Are you
art
getting
film.
anywhere yet?
And can we throw a
It's
shout
a
out for
fucking
Kroll,
plot.
maybe?
Oh hell yeah.
Do we
Hell yeah,
have to?
Liam Neeson.
What about the?
The only good thing
the
about
Conans
Kroll
and
is
Red
the
Sonja?
glaive.
Right.
No,
the
which
rest
sounds
of
Which
it
was
is
used much more
terrible.
effectively in Blade.
The soundtrack, the bad guys, the crazy flying space castle. There's so much good about Krull.
That
I am
everything that
Ergo
was good
the
about
Magnificent.
Krull was ripped off from Hawk the Slayer.
So are we done with
this
quotes, or does
might be
anyone have any last ones before we want to?
You
Can
know,
we
could
move
go-
on
we
because
could go
I'm
all
getting
night.
too
Go
old for
on.
this shit.
Ironhide 667 says, "Okay, guys, so who was your favorite '80s horror villain?" But you know what? I'm going to take this and just say villain. Just villain.
Kayla.
Yeah, it's all about Kayla.
That's not even fair.
It's the Kayla show. Come on, Kayla. What was your one favorite
Don't
villain?
make me do this. Of course,
Wow, her head just exploded.
You've got to nail it down to one. I'm sorry, we're going to have to do that because otherwise we'll be here for another hour.
Freddy.
And it's too much fun to watch you squirm.
Mine is Freddy.
Yeah, the squirming is nice.
Vader.
Vader's 70s. It's 77.
No, Empire Strikes Back.
Empire
was
Strikes
Yeah,
nice.
but
Back.
Star Wars was a
Sure.
70s thing.
Yeah.
I mean, even though two of them
Empire
were...
Strikes Back. God
Okay,
damn it.
fine. But yeah, well, yeah, Vader trumps Freddy. But I mean, if we're going to talk quintessentially 80s, Freddy Krueger. Yes! Snicker.
If you're thinking things people think '80s with villain, Freddy Krueger is one of the big top 10.
Oh, I got the biggest. Ronald Reagan.
Oh, no!
Thank you. Yes, he
No.
is the big villain from the '80s.
I
Thank
disagree
you.
completely. Villain from the 80s with some
I
Mikhail
agree
Gorbachev.
with you completely. But as far as fictional villains,
fictional
and not just ones who lived in a fantasy world, where his wife made political decisions for the entire world based on what her astrologist told her. Fact.
They shut down Playboy.
How are you
Go
feeling
back to
about
a fun
Reagan
place
now?
Vader. Kayla, what was yours? You got all excited, but I don't think
Yeah,
you know.
Kayla,
I
and
know.
there was no answer.
it's unfair question to ask me because there's so many great villains.
Name them all off quickly.
What if we gave you 3?
You get
That's
3.
not even fair. But
That's not enough.
but I of course have to go to the monsters, and the gremlins are bad, but they're not. I don't know if they're the bad guys.
As
It's
long
like,
as you don't feed them, they're actually pretty cool.
but when you feed them, they're really bad.
Well, so it's the people who feed them who are
It's not
bad.
their fault.
I love those gremlins
I mean,
and my deadly spawn.
I love them.
Oh, but no, it's gross. Basket case. That guy's
Oh,
scary.
Belial.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's pretty bad.
Yeah. Belial is awesome.
What about the principal in Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Rooney? The pedophile? Yeah, I'd say he's pretty bad.
The nothing.
The
The
nothing.
nothing.
Oh, yeah, the scary Galactus cloud? Yeah, that's good.
But there are a lot of good villains from that. Let's just go through them.
Zool.
Holy yes, that's a good costume. for me.
Megatron?
Megatron, hell yeah.
Because I got to do the voice at least 6 times a
All
podcast.
right, go for it.
There is no Dana, only Zool.
Thank you, Dr. Claw. Cobra Commander, one of the greatest villains of all time. Cobra Commander.
You're wrong, but okay.
Cobra Commander's a great villain.
Yeah, such a great
Not
villain.
an effective
They
villain.
pulled Joseph. Sorry, I can't even say it. Yeah.
The comic book version's a great villain.
Yes. Yes. Inky, Pinky, Blinky, and Clyde. Great villain.
Yep. Hell yeah.
Me? Okay.
Pac-Man.
All
with you,
all
I'm with
white
you.
people in the color purple. No, I mean, come on. Is this really the best way for the horror villains? I mean, 80s villains. Is that we've got Darth Vader?
Gary Busey.
The
from Lethal Weapon.
Terminator.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Mr. Joshua.
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah,
Joshua.
the Terminator.
Mr. Joshua, you're
Terminator.
Oh, the
Terminator's a great
Terminator.
villain,
Good
yeah.
Lord.
Oh my God, that was the answer.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah,
the
Brooke
All right,
Howard
we're done.
in
Next
Blade Runner.
question.
iconic indestructible villain.
But I might actually go with the main guy in Big Trouble in Little China again. He was pretty awesome. Or
David Lopan.
John Lithgow in Buckaroo Banzai.
John Big
Laugh
Booty.
while you can. Monkey boy. I fucked that up. I apologize.
Was it Dr. Lizardo? Was that his name?
Yeah, Dr.
Emilio
Lizardo. Yeah, which is so funny. That movie is so weird because like everyone in it was in like other iconic 80s movies.
Yeah.
in
I
a
think we
major
bring
role.
up Buckaroo Banzai every issue.
Well, that's because it's one of the greatest movies ever
That's
made.
right,
because
because you got what
time.
the Fly and the Kurigan and RoboCop all from the same movie.
And, oh no, I mean like there are guys who are like small, like not the main character, but memorable roles. Like you remember the guy in Buckaroo Banzai who is the dude who gets killed by Dr. Lizardo when he's in the insane asylum. He like electrocutes him. That's the main the main like thug in Beverly Hills Cop.
Really?
Yeah, it's like the guy who's like the total
Victor
really,
Maitland?
No, the guy who's his number one badass who works
okay.
for him. The
Are
guy
they-
who's basically got his big issue with Axel Foley.
Okay.
Oh my God, I know Axel Foley.
Are they making a Lego Beverly Hills Cop?
They should.
I
they really?
saw a promo poster from Comic Con.
Nice.
I want to be able to like put the Legos together. It says "fuck you, bitch" and shit like that. Because that's one of the most filthy mouth movies of all time, and which is why we liked it so much. Okay, well, what was your favorite? Artsy Girl 1234 says, "What was your favorite '80s TV show catchphrase?"
Ooh.
I love it when a
TV?
plan comes together.
Hey.
Man, that's the answer.
Is that the answer?
Oh, I mean, really, what
Yeah,
can
I'm
top
stoked
that?
now,
What
yeah.
you talking about, Willis? Come on, even that's weak in comparison.
That one's just.
See, I'm looking through this big list of '80s shows that are worth a shit, and I'm just like, or even those.
Well, the ones
aren't.
that were really good didn't have catchphrases,
Activating
Yeah.
turbo boost.
like Cheers and the Cosby Show. They didn't have
Thundercats!
Norm.
For the honor of Grayskull!
Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah, I said good '80s.
Yeah,
shows.
good.
Shut up!
Autobots roll out.
Yeah, once again.
Good, yeah.
I mean, I don't even know a lot of the stuff I list. I like there was a point about midway through the '80s I just stopped watching television. So I
Turtle
don't
Power.
even-
You kind of had to.
I'm reading your
Yeah, you didn't
thing.
have a lot.
What
of
do you
choice.
think's in the burger?
Because in Miami Vice, which I love the first 2 seasons, but when they were going for the big showdown, this time we're taking it all the way, and they just kind of look at each other. It was those grim faces, like going all the way this time
You know, TV
to the
had-
limit.
TV had a lot
Pee-wee's
of problems.
Playhouse.
Actually, the down.
Secret word!
Playhouses.
The
Secret
things,
word of the day!
The things that are terrible about television almost all really came to fruition in the '80s.
They did.
and it wasn't until the '90s that TV got redeemed.
That's
Yeah,
that's
no, that's
absolutely
absolutely
true.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
I mean,
Yeah,
like,
I'm trying to rack my brains. And cartoons I can remember, but as far as just shows,
Here's my
Oh, well,
80s
now-
TV
now,
list. I actually
wait,
made a
what?
Damn it,
Please.
Randy! I have a list of TV shows too.
did y'all need to like consult or something.
Yeah.
Lord.
Both Randy and Leon showed up with their little journals from 7.
Go ahead.
All right. Dear Cyrus, we accept the fact that you made us stay here an entire Tuesday night, but we want you all to know that we all are brave. No, wait, that's the wrong list. My list is very short.
We are the Leon.
Cheers, Moonlighting, Newhart, Night Court, The Simpsons when it was good,
Night Court, holy
and
fuck.
Wonder Years.
Those are all fantastic shows.
And that is
love Night
it.
Court.
Oh wait, no. That's not quite. You,
you got more?
You got a lot of them.
All right.
That's
All
not
right.
it. Let me just read the ones that you didn't.
All right, what'd you get that I missed?
You didn't get the Cosby Show.
You're right, Mr. Cosby
Oh.
Show.
Greatest American Hero.
You didn't get 30 something.
Fraggle Rock.
I never saw 30
fucking
something.
love
Family
Fraggle
Ties,
Rock.
Square Pegs, Bosom Buddies, Miami Vice, L.A. Law.
Late
You
night
are such
with
a
David
chick.
Letterman.
Why would you watch 30-something? That was the
all
most
over
No, 30-something was awesome.
lifetime
Yeah.
original
love
movie
30.
bullshit.
It so was
Yeah, it was so
not.
Chicks.
I'm with Allison on that
It was
one.
a fucking soap opera.
Okay, neither one of y'all
Okay,
were old
okay,
enough to
yeah.
appreciate
Now,
30-something.
now, if you guys were to go back and watch 30-something, I think you might appreciate
No.
it.
Allison, do you not
I've
remember the
never
20-minute
liked-
diversion to soap
couple,
operas we
not
had a little while
interested.
back?
You know
I
what,
have
Leon?
never
30-something
liked
actually
it.
reminded me a lot of all my children in that sense.
Whatever.
Lord,
didn't.
you
I
are
And welcome to the Cyrus and Leon are homos episode.
You weren't complaining when I was sucking your dick.
Okay, well, that's a next question transition vibe, everyone.
No, I agree. There's a few new other shows that need bringing, like Family Ties. Loved
said-
it.
He said
I
Family
mentioned
Ties.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, say what you will. Michael J. Fox. God.
Well, that
I'm
was
sorry,
the thing. Like
amazing.
NBC, that was when they first took a foothold on Thursday nights because
Scott
they.
Valentine is my demon lover.
I love that movie. Fuck everybody else. I love my demon lover.
Oh my god, I can't believe we're talking about Michael J. Fox now and no one said Rhodes. Well, we're going. We don't need
Yeah, we didn't really get
Rhodes.
Back
How
to
do
the
we miss
Future,
that?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Knight Rider. Really? No one
What's he
said
doing
Knight
now?
Rider.
Well,
Is he a neurosurgeon or something? now?
NBC had like the killer Thursday night because it started with they went from it had the Cosby Show, Family Ties to Cheers and Night Court. And that
all
was a
awesome.
2-hour block they owned.
yeah.
So they owned Thursday night
Man.
from that point on. You know, they just moved in Seinfeld later on.
I wish Greg were here so we could give him shit about, not being able to play Night Court again.
Very good point.
You can't play the Night Court theme song?
But 80s
Oh,
was
that's
the.
sad.
Let's not forget one important thing happened in TV in the 80s was the beginning of the miniseries. That was really when the miniseries became like a big thing.
If you say the
Thornbird.
Thornbirds or
But
something.
what V?
Did you love the Thornbirds?
No, I never
No.
watched the fucking
No.
Thornbirds.
I had all of my family is Catholic, so I had to watch it because it had Catholics in it.
See, it's
and
okay
so
for you to say that.
I didn't like
Well,
it. It
I
was
didn't
like-
watch it.
No, you watch General fucking Hospital, Cyrus.
Yeah, you missed out, bitch.
But you did
I
watch
missed
Shogun, right?
Yeah, Shogun was
Hell
awesome.
yeah.
That was 80s. V was 80s.
Yeah, V.
Oh, I loved V.
No, Roots was 70s though. Right?
Yes, it was.
Okay, but it was end of the 70s.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Well, speaking
it was.
of Reading
It
Rainbow, that was a fantastic
it was I want to say it was 76, 77.
yeah, okay. But it led the way into the explosion of the 80s was the miniseries decade. for
Well,
television.
miniseries I think started with Rich Man Poor Man.
Okay.
And but Roots was huge.
Yes, it was.
And then 80s was all about miniseries and movie of the week.
I mean, there was. Let's not forget about as well. We're talking about TV for the 80s. What Saturday Night Live did in the 80s. That was when it
gave us Eddie Murphy and Joe Piscopo.
Yeah, it's when it changed the format of the way we thought about comedy films.
It's true. Man, comedians were huge in the 80s.
Oh,
You had
yeah, that's right.
Make Me
Stand-up
Laugh
comedy.
and all the HBO specials. There was
TNA was the best in the 80s.
Yeah.
TNA is the best in this room.
No, Kayla's right. I mean, that's when you actually got to see tits in movies. Not
Well,
no
it's
more.
all changed now.
Yeah.
You can take somebody's
you see
head
cocks
and
all the
saw
time now.
You can take somebody's head, saw it in half, and fuck their brains, but you can't show a pair of boobs without
Yeah,
being rated
I'm
R.
watching.
Yeah.
Like I said, I watched 16 Candles the other day, and 10 minutes into it, there's boobs. I'm like, I thought this was a fucking PG movie. You
Yeah.
never see that.
No,
anymore.
you got it all the time. Then you know
Yeah.
you trading places. Who?
Yeah.
Who didn't see
Jamie
Trading
Lee
Places?
Curtis is-
And remember that always. But
Right.
now you got Jason Segel's dick and Forgetting Sarah Marshall every goddamn 10 minutes.
It's so weird. It's gone the other way
Yeah.
completely.
It's horrible.
and I
it's
don't
horrible.
like it. Yeah,
It's a
it
terrible
is.
thing.
I'm
Fuck
not-
you, Harvey
I'm
Keitel.
okay with it.
I'm not offended by it because now we have the internet and I can see boobs anytime I want. Back then, it was very selective.
That's
we had
true.
to
That's
fight
true.
to see boobs.
Yeah, you'd have to see it scrambled on Playboy.
Yeah, and now it's like it's really no effort at all.
No.
I can.
Cinemax made me a man.
And if you don't have cable, you can always watch Univision. It's like the poor man's Playboy.
Dude, have I ever told you my Univision story? So I'm sitting there
I'm
with
dying to hear it.
my stepdad is from Venezuela, and he was like, "Oh, come, this is a wonderful program." It was a game show where women in fuzzy bikinis were on these rotating daises. Is that
No, that's
plural?
actually the head of the Catholic Church.
Wow, that's a weird show.
So it was the Pope
But go
with
on.
a fuzzy bikini. And the point of the game was for the contestants to throw Velcro balls at them to see where
I just
they
love
would
Latin
stick.
America. I love the fact that like there's no Spanish translation for sexism.
It would never occur to them.
Sounds like pretty much something Merv Griffin never would have come up with.
Yeah, never ever.
But then we would have been okay watching a show. So.
It's like, I don't know, like epic movie and scary movie in Into the Woods or whatever these new comedies are, but it's like, oh my goodness, meatballs and Porkies.
Yeah.
Even My Bed was after Hamburger, the motion
Hamburger,
picture.
yeah.
You know, it's like they can't replicate that. Like there's this only one time.
There's too much of a fear to do that again.
Oh yeah, everyone's afraid Katherine Hagel will throw a fit or something.
That's true.
I do want to say this isn't 80s, but I just want to say this about that right now.
Caddyshack.
Katherine Hagel coming out and saying, "Oh yeah, I thought Knocked Up was really sexist," and then to turn around and star in The Ugly Truth,
I know.
Yeah,
which
right?
may be the most sexist film I've ever seen in my entire fucking
it
life.
really, really is.
I mean,
it's irresponsible.
Even Corey would go, "Okay, that's totally uncalled for." It's just that bad.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
is.
Next, I hear she's going to do Ilsa She-Wolf of the SS.
except really offensive.
Yeah, and she's going to bitch about how hard it is to work on that movie.
And just for TV, it was briefly murmured, but Pee-wee's Playhouse needs a much bigger.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Every
Like,
Saturday morning,
bravado.
I would honestly, whatever the secret word of this day, I would go the rest of the day and try and scream when I heard it. And eventually I'd forget, but I religiously tried to do it.
And this leads back to those stories of the kids making fun of you when you were younger.
No, it was Saturday, so I was with my actual friends and not the assholes.
I keep hearing
You mean
rumors
your
there's
stuffed
like,
squids?
I was gonna say
They didn't exist yet.
animals.
hey,
I had a few friends.
They never made fun of me.
people are paying her for her stuffed squids. What are you getting paid
Yeah,
for?
what you getting, Jason?
Not this.
Jack shit.
It's okay. I have untarnished memories of my youth. When I was hanging out with something other than inanimate objects.
And those memories are priceless.
You know what?
But rocks and hobos.
Before you guys kill each other, I'm going
Both
to
of
go to a
those together,
question
yes.
with from Zeke Slider, our beloved
Oh,
Zeke
we love
Slider.
Zeke.
We do love him.
Let's just for a minute.
Our
for Zeke
blessed
Slider.
benefactor.
We speak your name.
Zeke Slider, who says, "Oh God, I hate being a child of the '90s. I mean, yeah, I was born during this era, but I don't remember jack shit about it. I guess the only question I ask you guys is this: what kind of technology from the '80s do you have that still functions?"
None.
Nothing.
I do.
VHS, and I just sold my old car recently, but it had a cassette player, and I was very
Wow.
sad because most of my music collection is still honestly on cassette, and even Jason brought me some Weird Al tapes the other day, and I was so happy, and I'm like, I sold my car!
Seriously?
Ah!
I mean, if you still have cassette tapes, it's because maybe you're kind of a pack rat or they're sentimental
No,
to you.
they're mixed
But
tapes.
if you still listen to
Yeah.
cassette tapes, kill yourself.
I finally gave away all mine.
Well, if you'll
less
excuse
than a
me,
year
Leon
ago.
has given me a directive.
I brought
me
them.
too.
I brought them to a thrift store, a Goodwill,
And they won't take
a
them.
box that was huge. And the guy looked at them, and he puked on me.
yeah. You go with those now, and they'll look at you like, "What are these?"
What are we supposed to do with these?
We're not taking your garbage.
It's going to cost us money to get rid of this.
Yeah.
Be honest, you had air supply in there, didn't you?
Okay, maybe the complete collection.
I mean, there was a few years ago when
nothing
Blockbuster
wrong with
were
that song.
they were physically destroying their videotapes.
Yeah, no, I know.
No, half of my movie collection's still on VHS. I refuse to buy the upgrade, damn it.
And that's a good reason to go to Kristen's
Okay, Kristen,
wish list.
we're at the Blu-ray stage now.
Yeah.
Well, see, here's the thing to me. Like, I am always 10 years behind on any technology. I just, first of all, I don't trust it because it's going to break 15 times before they finish
Wait, are we
working the
talking
bugs
about
out.
birth control or?
You go on, once you go into a creepy place, and I don't know how you get point from A A to point B.
You know what? What you say to Kristen is never nearly as funny as her reaction to it.
That's why she's always the one I poke at.
I know.
No pun
I think we've
intended.
established that I'm fairly single, so not a worry about it. Control. Anyway,
Like Kayla's like, I'm used to it, and Allison's like, I know these guys are jackasses. I let it roll off my back. but Kristen, you
Allison's
can't
sitting there
really-
crocheting like, what the fuck ever.
and Randy gets really pissed.
It's true. I'm very sensitive.
But
I still have
as
all
far
my
as
VHS.
VHS goes, fact: half of all movies that are on home video consumption are on DVD or Blu-ray. So all the movies you know that are on DVD and Blu-ray, there is that many on VHS.
Also-
that
Yeah.
you can't get anywhere else. And I have
Also-
to
It's
spend
true.
like $30
That's true.
I have a
to get
huge
those movies.
stack of stuff that's never been released.
No,
well,
like
my
Gore.
my E.T. VHS
G-O-R.
is the original
Gore.
fucking movie. You can't get the real E.T. anymore. My VHS has the fucking guns. It doesn't have
Or has-
CGI
yeah.
flashlights.
As I hear
that's
those
true.
big plans to do a Blu-ray release where it goes like the original
I
thing,
want the original.
which, as far as I'm concerned, is the only reason they took out the guns in the first place.
Yeah,
I have
maybe right.
2 box sets of the original Star Wars, one at home in Baton Rouge in case my apartment burns down, and one here because I don't want any fucking version. So VHS, it's all about purity to me.
I have 4 backup VHS players because they stopped making VHS last year.
Yeah.
So.
Dude,
Yeah.
I only threw away my Commodore 64 2 years ago.
I have a.
I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, I still have a pterodactyl can opener.
It's a living.
I have a. I still have my functional Atari, and
Yes.
like probably 30, 40 games, something like that. And I actually still have my my Knight Rider toy with Michael Knight inside, and then you push the bumper, and that very fey voice comes out and says, "Activating turbo boost," or whatever. Still works. Pop in the 2 D batteries, and yeah.
With a couple of Wendy's hamburgers in case David Hasselhoff shows up.
But the toys these days, like, you used to be able to hit a latch and it would do like a million different things, and today it's like all you do is it has a blinking light.
You know
Like,
why? I remember this from being a kid in the 80s. I was so pissed at that fucking idiot who shot the Cylon dart down his
Yes.
throat. And I'm like, I was a kid, and I was like, the kid was an idiot. It was good for all of us.
Yeah, that
Give
was-
me my fucking Boba Fett.
And now
That
he's
was natural
hosting
s-
the League of Extremely Ordinary Gentlemen.
I was going to say, that was natural selection. Darwin
Yeah.
because I was collecting Micronauts at the
Yeah,
time.
hell yeah.
And then suddenly all those missiles that shot didn't shoot anymore
Yeah.
because of that dumbass kid.
Yeah.
Swallowing the
Fucking
goddamn
shit.
Cylon
How
missile.
pissed were the rest of us kids? We were like, it's a good thing he died. We would have killed him.
I think it's time for a Bill Hicks quote where he's talking about like people on acid. He's like, guy thought it was on acid, thought he could fly, jumped off a roof. Hey, dumbass, birds take off from the ground too. Oh no, we lost a moron. I'm so upset we lost a moron. I'm sorry, one example of some incredible dumbass doing something retarded on a drug doesn't prove shit. I know so many people who did dumb shit because Reagan said so in the 80s, like Jason. I'm not gonna, yeah, okay, all right, we'll just move on.
My 8-bit Nintendo system still works.
Does it really?
It does.
Oh, that's right. You brought it for the
I
video
brought
game
it.
party.
My Contra
Yeah.
still works. And because, I've had a PlayStation burn out on me and my Xbox is kind of broken, that Nintendo's still chugging along.
When you and Jason were getting like awfully competitive there on GoldenEye for the Nintendo, but I'm just saying,
No, we weren't.
yeah, it was a little scary. There was some heat in the air.
It was just sad.
I
brought
killed
the-
you in Rogue Agent. I kicked your ass in Rogue Agent.
Rogue Agent, not GoldenEye.
Look what you've done,
yeah,
Cyrus.
whatever.
Look what you've done.
I think we need a fucking rematch, bitch!
We obviously need another video game
your
party.
kung fu.
You
is
hunt the
nothing.
wampus.
Well,
T.I.
we're getting towards the end of this one, which I think is going to be one of the longest ones we've recorded for a while because
Everybody wants them longer.
Happy,
let's
happy
face it.
80s memories.
well, let's face it, this was a fun one to record.
It
Fucking
was.
decade. It's a decade worth of love.
But I'm going to do another question, and then we're going to just go with the final closing stuff,
Okay.
some announcements and stuff. But Genova Pooh says, "Hey guys, who we love, Genova
Yeah, we
Pooh.
love
Yeah.
Genova Pooh.
Yeah.
Hey guys and wonderful ladies, name your most memorable experience from the 80s, please. Be it Jason attempting to kill Grant when he was a child, or Cyrus and Bo killing their first hookers, which, by the way, that's only Bo who kills hookers. I only help him bury them. Regale us with a story from way back when.
Something quintessentially 80s?
Well, just
Let's not have something that makes us want to open a vein, Kristen. How about that?
You don't have any stories.
Again, we need a video cast. You guys are missing my glances that they'll kill. I think I just scared Jason a little.
That was some scanner shit.
I know.
I was thinking, like, I mean, for me, my favorite memory from the 80s was right at the end of it when, okay, so no one ever believes me this is true, but you can look it up online and see, oh my God, this really happened. In Washington, D.C., on July 4th, they would have this thing called the Smoke-In that was right behind the Lincoln Memorial. And it was where, for the period of time, like 8 hours or so, pot was totally legal within a certain circle. And it's been going on for years and years. As far as I know, it's still going on. Maybe it's not, but it was going on for years. One year, the first year I went there, they had a helicopter come drop joints on the crowd. And it was, I swear to God. And it was all seized pot by the federal government. And they'd get it like, hey, burn it up here. I don't know how it started. I don't know how it happened. I don't know how it was legal. But believe me, it was absolutely real. And I was there this one year when the Butthole Surfers were the headliner for this thing. And we decided...
Is this the story where they invited you up on stage to shred for a little bit, and then Phoebe Cates came up and rubbed her tits on you
And
because
Winnie
you're
the
making this all
Pooh
up?
floated down from his honey pot to give you...
No, this story actually happened as opposed to those ones I try and convince you about all the time. And we all decided it'd be a great idea to be in D.C. without a car, take the metro to drop like 10 hits of acid before we decided to go see the show, where we didn't know precisely where it was. That was a great idea. And then it started raining. And then we were tripping balls in a concert with about 80,000 other people who were tripping balls who wanted to go see the Butthole Surfers.
Okay.
And while fireworks were going off in the sky, celebrating our nation's independence, I ended up hanging off of a speaker in the front of the stage by one hand with no shoes on because I lost them somewhere.
My memory was so innocent. So I just took it to this dirty, fucked up place.
No, that was a beautiful place. This is rock. This is Woodstock for Cyrus. That was it right there. I was like, this is independence. This is freedom right here. I was very happy about that. Very happy to say that was the 80s for me.
Comic-Con and a 250-pound chick giving you a handy is Woodstock for you, okay? Some chick dressed up like Poison Ivy.
No.
That's Woodstock for you.
No, hanging off the Butthole Surfers tripping balls. You're thinking of you.
Oh, that was good. I know you are, but what am I? Nice, okay. Who's next?
I'm just saying.
You're rubber and I'm glue.
My girl
Okay.
was 350 pounds, so obviously that wasn't me.
Wow.
Leon, quintessentially 80s memory.
Yeah, I don't have one.
Okay.
Somebody else go.
Randy?
No, I'm a boring person. I got nothing.
What?
I got nothing. I mean,
I really didn't come into my
high
own
school
until
it's the
1992.
Same thing as everything else. I mean, high school, that was it. That was same as everybody else. I didn't have any I went to the prom with the prom queen, even though I was the geek. None of that shit. All my memories are from Johnny Hughes films.
All your memories happened to someone
Exactly.
else.
Yes.
Wow, you guys! I thought I was the nerd. I actually had an insane '80s. My '80s were crazy.
No, mine was actually very tame. But one of my biggest memories was actually, when you said quintessentially '80s memory, it was actually getting in a fist fight in grade school because I refused to believe that Vader was Luke's father. Like, that's not true.
Are
And
you
I
serious?
actually got in.
You really got in a fist fight
you
with
serious?
someone.
I did.
After seeing the movie, and someone else insisted it was the fact.
Yeah.
That the movie did not lie.
Yeah, it's Vader. Of course he was lying.
Yep.
You know
And
what?
I got into a
hey,
fight.
You know what, Jason? I'll back you up. When I saw the movie
Yeah,
and he
at
said
the
it to
time,
Luke, I was
yeah.
like, he's full of shit.
Yeah, the
By
discussion for 3
end
years.
of the movie, you still
Yeah,
felt
yeah.
it?
By
Yeah,
the
the
end of the movie,
discussion for
I
3
totally
years
felt it, yeah.
was Vader lying or not? Yeah, hell yeah.
And I got into a fight. And then I remember sitting at a fast food fried chicken restaurant across the street from the theater, watching my mom slowly make her way through the line that was around the building during opening weekend of Return of the Jedi. And then I never did apologize to the guy, so I'm not gonna either. So
Wow, I really am a sleazy hooker.
So yeah, Kayla, do you have something where I remember churning butter out in the country while everyone else was living in the 80s?
Well, we did. We moved from the country to country in Kansas, which is Garden City, Kansas, and Garden City is known for having like the world's largest swimming pool. It's an acre big, and in the winter they would clean the elephants. They would wash the elephants.
They have elephants?
And I love them.
Wait, why did they have elephants?
How else do you get around?
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right.
Allison, nothing?
No, as a child in the 80s, my best memories were my cousin Amy and I sitting on the floor of my grandmother's house deciding which member of Duran Duran we were going to marry and doing the MASH quiz, you know, to determine
origami thing.
Yeah.
That explains
Mansion,
a lot.
apartment.
Mansion, apartment, shack, or house.
Oh yeah, little spiral thing. you
Yeah,
had to
yeah,
do.
yeah.
Oh,
With the spiral.
Oh yeah.
To determine where we were going to live
So did
with.
you get Simon Le Bon?
I
or
was
John
Simon
Taylor?
Le Bon always, and she was always John Taylor. Just FYI.
I'm afraid for the evangelical, passion-filled answer that Kristen's going to give.
Yes,
I really am.
Let's everyone stand back
Yeah.
and give
I
Kristen a
was gonna
chance.
get all sweet and sentimental with mine. So Jason, you take your balls and shove them in your mouth and shut the fuck up.
And then she's going to show us her tattoo that relates to her answer. So
Actually, it doesn't. No, in case you don't know, my comic is about me and my sister, and we're very, very close. So when I think of the 80s, I think of growing up with my little sister, all the fights we had, and all those good moments where we were playing My Little Ponies and making up little stories, and all of that goes into that comic. So every little joke we had, every little inside thing, later comes back to my comic. So I just couldn't be happier to have 10 years of childhood with my best friend, who's my sister.
And that comic is called
Dead Squirrel Girl.
and available where?
DeadSquirrelGirl.com and DeadSquirrelGirl.etsy.com.
did you just convince your sister to start listening to these podcasts?
I haven't yet, but she's kind of busy, so she probably can't get to it. But,
Probably.
Oh, where?
I don't think I want Katie to listen to this. She'll be like, your friends are weird.
What does she do for a living?
She's about to switch jobs, thank God. She did work at a media company in a cubicle, which was slowly killing her, and she just switched over. She quit. Now she's going to work in a lingerie boutique.
Oh.
Nice.
I've seen pictures of her sister. And where does she live?
Chicago!
Yes, I've been meaning for a trip to the Windy City.
Might have to get through her big, very tall Polish boyfriend first, though.
Yeah,
Well,
but
he's
he's Polish, so you can
just have to
distract
go,
him with
look
a
over
match.
there.
The Force has a powerful influence in the
cheese.
weak-minded.
We'll convince him to join the Polish Navy.
Okay. Well,
JK.
this marks the end of another Leog, but we are going to do a real quick thing here. Okay, I was going to say this was the last one, but we didn't so much of volume 2. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Not last one, period.
Last one ever, we're breaking up.
Say what?
Oh, by the way,
Breaking
y'all,
up.
y'all are all fired. No. Last one, volume 2.
Randy is Yoko!
But I'm going to go 16.5 because, you know what? We didn't have Bo, and we didn't talk about comic books. And so we need to do another 80s second part of this,
Okay.
a part 2.
Part
Am I
2?
wrong?
No,
Am
you're
I
right.
wrong?
You're right.
We
You're
need
right.
a part 2 where we can get into comics and stuff.
I
which
suppose.
we did not at all discuss that. We didn't at all discuss a lot of other... God,
Okay.
we could go...
It's a decade, man! We can't fit it into 2 hours!
I mean, and I want to answer people who've been asking about the episodes they really liked. Like, where's the part 2? Like, a lot of people asking about video games part 2.
So what should we have like one big finish it off with the part 2 of everything?
No, we should
Yeah,
not.
no.
But eventually there'll be comebacks to stuff like that. Yeah, we'll have another video game episode.
We will. I've been telling everybody no.
I think
No,
we
we
should.
will eventually, but
Okay.
not immediately.
Okay.
80s
That's the point.
video game
Like people
episode.
think that just because sometimes we do an immediate part 2, it means that if they really liked a particular episode, that must mean there's a part 2 on the way. It doesn't mean that. We get into it. A lot of the stuff is because we happen to know people in the industry who
Right.
have something to announce, and we go, "Hey, that's a good excuse to do that." In this case, nobody we know is announcing shit in video games right now.
Right.
So sorry. When that happens, we'll have part 2.
Well, the Fantastic Fest is having their awesome video games video contest where you can remake your favorite video game into
Fantastic
a movie.
Frenzy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are really really fun.
Maybe that's an excuse.
Yeah. Can
We'll
you guys
see.
pull some Fantastic Fest people in here?
Yeah, probably, but
Yes.
I'm still so stressed about just having to cover Fantastic Fest at this point. I haven't even been thinking about it.
Pobrecito.
Help?
Yeah. Huh?
Do you need some help?
In the sense of, can you get me a pass Cyrus, no, I probably can't get you a pass at this point, but maybe next year.
But if I had a pass already,
Yes.
and then I could be
Do you have a
helpful.
pass already?
I am very close.
Oh, really? You think you're going to have a pass?
Yes.
Okay, in which case, I would adore your help.
Okay, good.
Okay, so this may be the first year I cover Fantastic Fest with someone just other than myself, because in the past, even though Carlisle was there, he neglected to help.
You know,
have a
all you
pass
got to
in-
do is ask. I have a VIP pass.
Oh, you're going this year!
Duh.
Jason, by the way, I love you.
I think there's a
Kayla
kid over there making.
I
sold
love-
her hamburger bed. You know what?
I made 23 cupcakes to go to Fantastic Fest this year.
I'm not sure what that means.
I sold
I'm going and I didn't bake shit.
But there's an HEB by my house, and I'll go buy 23
I sold
cupcakes.
cupcakes for $10 a piece, so I,
I
could
plan
earn
on
enough
get-
money to go to Fantastic
I
Fest.
plan on getting baked before I go.
Hey, man, if you can sell a cupcake for $10, you deserve to go to Fantastic
Yeah.
Did you
Fest.
see those cupcakes? They were
bad.
worth
They're
more than
pretty
$10,
fucking
yeah.
impressive.
No, you know what was fucking impressive was seeing Cyrus on like day 7 of Fantastic Fest. He looked like a hobo that had been sexually abused for 7 days by Godzilla.
You should
How do
have
you know what
seen
that
me-
looks like?
It was hypothetical, but he was right. I was
Jason
at
has
that
a
point, like,
Godzilla costume.
on the last 2 days, I went up to Jason. I was like, please, I know that you don't officially work for Spill, but please write some stuff for me because I'm just so lost. I don't even know what's happening
You looked
anymore.
fucking awful.
I had some pretty intense coverage last year.
Yeah.
But yes, you guys who are actually going, oh, for God's sakes, if you want to help me cover it on Spill, I would certainly appreciate it. Because I was like, I love Fantastic Fest.
Every movie's good. Almost every movie.
Yeah, I agree. I agree
wouldn't
with
know
you.
it. Well, almost every movie.
Yeah, almost every 90%
Except for
of
the
the
one
films.
that plays opposite of the opening film. That's
The worst film I ever saw there was Flight of the Living Dead. That was really
I skipped that one.
so bad
Thank
it was
God.
unwatchable. But that may be the only film I've seen during the whole thing that I was like, I wish I could take back time.
Wow.
Yeah.
I saw some and I really thought the programmers were playing a joke on us. I really, really did.
Which one?
It was one about some dude from Alabama who had made his own films, and Lars hosted it. And he, with absolute sincerity, showed this guy short films who made them on his like camcorder that actually took the full size VHS tape. And he's out there in the woods and was showing all these short films that were just like, I was really waiting for Ashton Kutcher to jump out and go, got your ass. I mean, I was just, after a while, I'm like, all right, I guess there's no punchline. This is some weird Andy Kaufman shit. I'm leaving.
So maybe we could do a thing on the in the league, because God knows I've tried the last 2 years I've covered it to get them to do more. Like, please guys, focus on this festival, and the Spill guys, they do a little, but damn it, this is the best film festival in the world. Fuck everything else. This is the Spill version of a film festival. In the League Lounge, we'll be covering the shit out of this thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to set something up for all you guys who are going, and if there's any way we can get any of the rest of y'all in there or sneak you in there, whatever we can do,
Sure,
we're going
whatever
to
you
try
can do,
and
that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I may very well bring my camera, see if we can get some interviews or something.
That would be fantastic. Anything we can do to get better coverage this year, because this festival deserves it, and you guys deserve to hear it, because this is where genre shit starts from.
But I'm also going to be really, really drunk most of the time.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's part of Fantastic Fest.
yeah.
You saw my George Romero interview where it was like,
Oh, God.
oh, my God, you're George Romero.
You're so tall.
Yes. So, do you like zombies?
So, well, let me ask you this. Are we going to be able to get a Leah again during this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
you could
I
just-
would love to do a thing where I could get you guys to just show up there.
Outside of the Alamo
At
Draft
the
House.
outside of the Alamo Draft House. And we do a whole, like, you know what? We're just going to record right here. Just right
the
on
benches.
spot. Yeah, on the benches.
Oh,
yeah.
we could totally do that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. You folks who I think there are still general tickets available for this,
Well,
right?
there you can still get like the badge. You can also get second half and day badges. And when the festival happens, like the big like premieres for the big movies, you generally can't get into those. But any movie that's shown twice, you can usually buy a $10 ticket at the door, and it's awesome because like they won't take your money before like 10 minutes beforehand.
Yeah.
It's great. It's like the first time at the Draft House, you don't have to wait an hour to get your seat. It's perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, Fantastic Fest. It's cool. Do it.
That's the next big event after the spill party.
And you've got some announcements for that.
Oh, the spill party.
We do. Wait, what am I announcing? I don't remember. It's been a long podcast.
League Arena.
August 22nd.
Oh, yeah. Well, have we not talked about the League Arena?
No, we talked
No, we
about
haven't.
all this before we started recording.
The League Arena. You people have been listening to the podcast for a while here. Remember the last League Arena we did where we won prizes. We're going to do a brand new thing with a whole new format with still trivia and challenges and all that, but taking place in town for you people here in town who want to see this at Austin Books, I got to say, one of the best comic book stores probably in the country.
No. It's been in the running as one of the it's one of the 5 top comic book stores in the.
Oh,
in
it's
the
been in
country.
the top 5, really?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is all apologies to Randy. who
Yes,
runs
we love Randy.
an
Dude, I will
excellent-
totally back you up. Austin Books is one of the best shops in the country, and I've been to a lot of them.
Okay, Randy runs a fantastic comic book shop, but Austin Books has been around for 20 years,
Yeah.
something like that.
Well, it's kind of a different category, really. I mean, they got a lot more floor space.
They're
It's
more,
not
they're
fair.
kind of a superstore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they really are. And I love the fact that you can go in there and you can bring your girlfriend in there who doesn't care shit about it, and she will find shit that she'll be
Yeah.
like, I didn't even know this existed. This is amazing. This totally speaks to me.
They cater to everybody.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
tell them what we're doing there and when we're doing it.
Well, okay. We got on the 22nd is the official spill party, which
August 22nd.
Yeah, August 22nd, which is in less than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And now that we have like 100 or more people who have said I'm definitely showing up to the spill party, we've turned it into like a whole. It's kind of
like
a
a
whole
spill
weekend
weekend,
thing.
yeah.
I mean, it's all day Saturday. Like if you get here Friday night, Greg's band is going to be playing a free show at the University Co-op that night.
Yeah.
Lot of young hot chicks there if that's your thing.
And
Oh
plus,
my God!
what an
oh my
amazing
God!
Yeah,
show.
it's crazy.
Those guys are so much fun.
Yeah, they are. It's a fantastic show.
Yeah.
So then the next morning is when the official spill party starts at 10 a.m. at the Alamo Draft House downtown.
Yeah.
We'll be doing kind of a live show. It'll be started out with a kind of a brunch for an hour of milling around, watching tapes of our old show, and then we're going to get on stage and do a live show.
Not Leog, but
yeah, just spill in
the
general.
specific
Yeah.
spell members.
Now,
yeah.
if you listen to Leog, the members of the League of Extremely Ordinary Gentlemen will be meeting at Austin Books at 3:00 for a big trivia contest with fans and prizes given out and pretty much gifts for everybody. Nobody's going to walk away empty-handed.
Yeah, well, it's the League Arena, and
Yeah.
we're reorganizing it to do more of a Hollywood Squares type of concept.
Probably slightly more sober than you're used to hearing us.
Yeah.
Slightly.
Well,
Slightly.
only because
actually
it's
probably
earlier.
not.
Only because it's earlier in
probably
the
not.
day,
That's true.
which means that
Like we're not going to be drinking at the Draft House a few hours before.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Okay.
They
I take
had
that back.
breakfast alcohol at the Draft House.
Right on.
But
Mimosas.
you know what? That's where we're gonna want to really. That's where if you want to hang out with the League, that's where to go. But to be fair, you guys who aren't I don't know much about comics or whatever. It's not just going to be comic stuff.
No.
It's going to be questions all across the board. So you have an equal chance of winning specific prizes there. Just show up. It's a great chance to meet us. Even Corey asked me, "This sounds really cool. Would you mind if I showed up?"
Right.
I was like, "No, Corey, you can't show up."
This is ours.
No, Corey will be there as well. We'll all be there. I'm sure the
sure
whole
co-hosts will
crew,
be
except
there.
maybe Carlisle, will be there, and it should be fun.
And hey, who knows? Maybe this will be the thing that makes him. All right. Anyway,
I've already told them he's not welcome. No, I'm
No,
just kidding.
stop
I'm
it.
totally
Stop
kidding.
that.
I'm totally kidding.
he's welcome. Of
Yeah.
course, we'd love
I'm
that.
kidding.
And then so if you're in town, you're able to make it to the spill party. Hope you can be there to show up. Otherwise, you might be just tooling around Austin. It's a great city. A lot of things to see and do. And if you can't make it, we'll broadcast it the week after or soon afterwards, so you'll get to hear it.
It'll be very soon after.
But once that's done, then it's head over to Nomad for even more
Debauchery.
drinking.
yeah, the Nomad, the bar that I and Bo actually work at.
It's going to get ugly, isn't it?
We've rented the whole bar. So,
Oh,
yes,
really?
Yeah.
It will get ugly.
And I just wanted to let everybody know I am not taking people to the strip club.
I'm not going to the strip club this year. I don't have the money. So unless someone's like, I got $200 is just for your your lap dances, I'm not going.
Yeah,
However, will go if someone takes me.
well, see,
Yeah, if somebody
Okay, I
pays
just
for
changed
I
it.
was just
mind.
about to say, like, I was not taking people to strip club, and then it dawned on me, it's like, look, there are gonna be some people who are gonna come specifically for that. They've traveled a long way. is it my right to deny taking them?
If somebody pays for it, I'll go to the strip club.
Yeah, that's all you
Whoa,
have to say.
what?
That's your
I
bad.
gotta pay those girls and pay you girls too?
Well, I literally won't have the money, so I probably won't go to the strip club.
I will.
Sure,
I'm
so.
going.
All right.
You're
So
telling me that no one of the Spill fandom would pay to get you in and me and Allison in?
they
if we
probably
drove them.
would. Well,
Please.
You know,
Come
nothing's
on.
worse than
they've
getting-
already paid a bunch of money to get here.
Let
Yeah.
me be clear.
Guess what? We got some Spill members sending a fistful of ones right now.
Let me be clear. I can afford to get into a strip club. I can afford to put dollar bills in G-strings. I still wouldn't go unless I could afford like 6 lap dances.
6? Dude, come on. You're just being
No,
greedy
you just
at
buy
this point.
one for me. And isn't that worth more than 6 for you?
That would count as one of my 6.
Terrible.
I'll just say, like, at midnight, if people want to go, fine, I'll do it.
Okay.
Or if at 9.
Hey, if we've
Just
rented
might
out the
as well make
Nomad,
it.
why don't we just bring the strippers to us?
Now Jason's thinking.
That's what I'm here for.
But it's going to be one big exhausting weekend because it won't even be done then because Corey wants to have a barbecue at Zilker Park by Barton Springs.
I probably won't be
The
up
next
for that.
day.
Hangover
And
Fest.
Melt-a-thon.
Yeah, Hangover Fest, exactly.
Well,
I
he
don't even
do it
think
at,
Barton
like-
Springs is going to be open.
He wants to do it at like 5 o'clock. I'm like, I gotta
Oh,
work
does
at
he?
6. I'm like,
Oh, I thought you could do it earlier in the afternoon.
Is it? Because the first thing he told me was 5, and I was like, okay, well, I gotta work at 6, so I won't.
Oh my
see
god!
that.
Because
Enjoy your heat stroke.
Okay, here's the other part. Greg was even saying that if people are still left over, he would take them out to the Oasis to watch the sunset.
Oh Jesus! And then if you want, you can come back to the Nomad where I work, and we have movie night with
Yeah.
happy hour prices all night. Don't you dare say anything detrimental, sir, who's never been out for that night.
What was I going to say
You
detrimental?
went, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a good deal.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Sorry.
You had that look. You had that look on your face that was like you're about to say something.
Man, everybody really expects me to like just cut them down and say cynical shit. I always think you guys
you
think
have
I'm a nice
reputation.
guy. But
Sorry,
Yeah,
it's-
clearly.
It's Monday. I'm tense.
Okay.
Actually, I think he thought you were going to spoil a movie. So
Oh, Randy for the win. Except
and
for
I thought me and Randy were totally like in sync on this one too.
I am. I never missed the chance for a cheap shot. Sorry.
y'all's lists were very different, to be fair. So,
No, they weren't.
Yeah. Oh, I wasn't paying attention, to be fair. But that is the end of another Leah. Thank you. As we ramble, a long one. Jesus Christ, this
Yeah,
was
and
a
a whole
long
fucking
one.
decade we had to cover. So
Yeah, it's true.
So, unless anybody else want to say anything before we reach
Man,
that,
have we not said enough?
No.
we're done.
Yeah. Kristen's making that whole that
Circular
symbol
motion
like
with
let's
love.
get it over with.
Wait, while we're on mics, I just wanted to ask Kristen a question that I could totally do afterwards, but I'll do it now. Kristen, your squids, those lovely squids, handmade squids you make, how much are they?
They are $38 for the smaller 19-inch version. There's a larger 32-inch version that I believe are $52. $44 for a chambered Nautilus.
Nice. Thank you. Just wanted to know that.
You're
And let everybody else know.
I need a chambered Nautilus in my life at this point. You guys should too, god damn it. What the fuck is wrong with you buying a cheap ass like the bottom level squid? Get a chambered Nautilus, you cheap fucks.
Sounds like exercise equipment.
I think it actually is.
There's Nautilus,
Or something
yeah,
that would be in
machine.
Captain Nemo's garage.
Yeah. Anyway, that is the end of League of Extremely Ordinary Gentlemen, and my apologies to those PC among us. Not here, but it's going to stay gentlemen just because that
I'm
was the term.
fine with that because I don't consider myself extremely ordinary, so we'd have to change that into the League of Extremely Ordinary Gentlemen and really fucking hot, super awesome ladies. And that's just too goddamn long, so let's just stick with the original.
That's one hell of an acronym.
I don't know how you'd pronounce that, so we're going to stick with Leog.
Yeah.
And that's it. Long live the
Long
League.
live the